Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Rockin Robbie Billups, and welcome to Rockin Robbie Live. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing okay. Cowboys just lost, but it was still a fun, excruciating NFL game to watch, and it's just something that happens. Anyway, how are y'all doing? What's up? We appreciate you being here for Rockin Robbie Live on a Sunday night. Tonight, we'll be talking about comic books. We'll be talking about our favorite comic books of last week, our most anticipated comic books of this upcoming week. I guess we'll take a look at this week's new comics. We got a top 5, and of course, we do have the promised Marvel in the 90s. So how's everybody doing? Once you get in here, shout us out, say what's up, throw out some conversation, your questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, all that stuff. It fuels this show. So I just want to say you can find podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. And if you're on Facebook, you might as well join the PCP Army. It's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can also support the channel at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine people right here, or with Super Chat, or just by watching, joining in the conversation, liking, sharing, subscribing, letting everybody know this is the dopest place to be on Sunday night on YouTube. How are you doing? And now that you're all here, don't forget Horror Fest is rolling on through. That's right, we just finished Near Dark this last Friday night. This upcoming Friday night, that's right, our first Horror Fest franchise review. We will be talking about all 6 George A. Romero Dead movies. That's Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead. But Horror Fest doesn't just only happen on Friday night. It also happens on Mondays. Tomorrow night we have a Mummy Monday. We'll be talking about The Mummy's Hand. This will be a live movie commentary. Me basically watching the movie and commenting on it live. So that's what we got coming up here. Horror Fest is going to be great. We got a lot of greatness to come, so get ready, and it's so much fun. Also got the announcement to make that PCP mystery boxes are going to be available tomorrow in the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If you want a PCP mystery box, the next batch has been processed. It's ready. Let's go. And they will go on sale tomorrow in the PCP Army Facebook group. So how is everybody doing? Let's see who's here. Sam Fett's here. What's up, my man? What's up, Billy? What's up, Samuel? What's up, Jacob? What's up, Paul? First hour should be focused on how bad J.J. Abrams' Spider-Man is. Well, first of all, it's not just J.J. Abrams' Spider-Man, it's his son Henry. And I would be led to believe that he probably is honestly, like, it's his story, and he's just using, his dad's name to get the gig or whatever. But yeah, that last issue is pretty bad. Twitch, what's up? He says, I should be sleeping, but to hell with it. That's why coffee exists, right? Yes, that is. Comic Book Therapy, how you doing? What's up, Eric? What's up, Tacky? How are you doing? I didn't make any banana bread. I haven't had a time to look at the recipe or anything like that. Sorry, buddy. But I am thinking about it. What's up, Herminio? What's up, Ruben? What's up, Metografia? What's up, Derek? What's up, Jesse? Say what? Try not to be a grumpy Robbie tonight. It was a hard-fought game. My Cowboys stuck in longer than nobody ever wants to be like this, to be like, well, I didn't expect us to win. No, I expected us to win. The worst part of it is I owe Brian lunch now. Brian's got heavy appetites. The biggest question, do we have a serial review tonight? Maybe. Check out the post-credits sequence. You never know what's going to happen on there. At least the Lakers are NBA champions. Not yet, Herminio. We still got 4 games to win. Heat and the Celtics are playing right now. If the Heat win, they make it to the finals, and that would be my 2 favorite teams facing off against each other, but I would ultimately pick the Lakers for my choice to win because they're number 1 for me. Have been since I was a kid watching Magic Johnson. Anyway. So, it could be on their way, but the Heat, man, they're feisty. I don't know what's going on in the game right now. I don't have it on in front of me. What's up, Coffee Girl Espresso Guy? What's up, Samuel? What's up, Mudfoot? What's up, Ganja Bar B? What's up, D-Mitts? I was a little late myself tonight. Because Because the Cowboys game kind of went right up to the edge, and it was a very disappointing ending. So I just had to kind of let it sit for a moment. That's all. What's up, Fable? How are you doing? What's up, Jen? Oh, the Bucks won? Hell yeah. I didn't pay too much attention to other football today. I was reading comics, and I was doing laundry. Did a little bit of light grocery shopping. So it's been a day, chilled with the cats. Lightning still winning the ice skating games. Yeah, if they win one more, they clinch. They win the Stanley Cup, right? NFL's the modern WWE. It would be really cool if the NFL would hit like an attitude era type thing, and they would come out and start talking shit to each other, and like, I don't know, like Russell Wilson would pour beer down his throat or something like that. Dak Prescott would like throw one eyebrow up. Right? Why not? Well, I did pick Seattle and Buffalo, but I am in LA, so I have to like the Chargers. You don't have to, but it's always nice to root for the home team. Root for the home team, as they say. So how is everybody doing? I hope you've had a lovely week. We've got some exciting things to talk about tonight. Like I said, there is a Marvel in the 90s tonight. That'll be later on. There is a Horror Fest themed top 5. This one kind of influenced by our topic this week, which of course is the Romero zombie films. I'm very excited. We're all in a frantic run right now to watch them all. Everybody knew this day was coming, but we're all like kind of lackadaisical. It's the sports. It's what happens. You got the Yankees. You got the baseball postseason's about to start. You got NBA going into the finals. You got football starting up, college too. War Eagle. I don't know how I feel about that win, but a win's a win. And Kentucky's ranked. So there you go. But anyway, so all in all, I still feel good about the way the Cowboys played today, except for those dumbass mistakes. I feel like if we could have a game with no mistakes, we would be like dominating. And I haven't had an easy, non-stressful Cowboys game in a while, I don't think. So that would be nice if we could just stop making some mistake. And yes, Jacob, let's go Yankees. Hottest zombie, that just might be the top five hottest zombies. I hope everybody got to check out Dylan's show last night. If you didn't, it was a great show. Me and the Excitable PCP crew on Dylan's Comics. That's right, Dylan is a member of the Excitable PCP crew, so please do throw him a like and a share and a subscribe, because we're trying to get Dylan to 1,000 subscribers as soon as we can. Dylan is a member of the Excitable PCP crew. He joins us on the Horror Fest movie reviews, and then the next night, Saturday night, we do a stream over at his channel. We had one last night. Me, Mike the Voice Matthews, Jelani, Brooks, J Strick, and of course, Dylan, that SOB himself. And we were talking about our favorite, like the scariest scenes, scenes in our lives, and the most gruesome and gory and out there scenes. And it was a really, really fun, super fun conversation to have. And I was watching the Lakers win the Western Conference Finals during most of it, to be honest with you. And we're all kind of shaded up, but we're not Teen Dog shaded up. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way that works out. All right, y'all, it's time for the first 6. That's right. Bueller and Bob, they do a first 5, but we got to one-up them. We do a first 6. So we've been going through the Marvel Universe Series 1 trading cards, and we are very close to the end. We got one more of those Marvel's Most Valuable comics. See, even with the whiteboard, it doesn't want to focus on it. Damn, man. I just have no problem with this. What's going on? This is so embarrassing when the webcam doesn't want to work. But anyway, Marvel's Most Valuable comics is Avengers number 5. Is when Captain America joins the Silver Age in the Avengers in 1990. A near mint copy was worth $325. Now we're moving into the teams. We've got Fantastic Four. We've got Avengers. You see with, is that Quasar? Yep, White Vision. Look at that. Yep, there you go. We've got X-Men. There are 2 different X-Men cards. Notice in this one, Forge and Strong Guy and Banshee. Yep. It's basically... And then there's the kind of the Outback team in a way, but there's the other X-Men one right there. And then we have Cloak and Dagger. I guess that counts as a team, but whatever. I just noticed for the first time today that they all have borders themed around their area in the Marvel Universe, like black borders for the X-Men characters, gray borders for the street level ones that fall in between, like orange or whatever for Avengers, like a sky blue for Fantastic Four. Yeah, isn't that weird? I never noticed that. Never noticed that. This goes to show you. Anyway, so that's the first 6. Final 9 coming up at the end of the show. Whiteboard did nothing. We toss it aside like who cares? Who cares? Dak playing like he wants a big contract. Yeah, unfortunately, he's going to have to come with wins. But I think, it's still early, but man, a 1-2 is a rough start. But I tell you what, at least we ain't Atlanta. I watched that Atlanta game. I feel really bad for Atlanta fans right now. Like, really bad. What's up, Bruce? How you doing? Rubbing it in? Hell yeah. I love it. Dig the salt into the wound. Who cares? S Squared, what's up? Already getting into the next topic. S Squared's always ahead of the program because he's in France. He's like, I need to be in bed. Let's just get this shit going. 1-2 and tied for first. That's another good thing. As a Dallas fan, first of all, at least we're not Atlanta. Secondly, we're still tied for first in the division. But whatever. Let's get into some comic book talk. What was your favorite comic book last week? What was your pick of the week? Presented by Taco Bell. It's not presented by Taco Bell. Anyway, my pick of the week was Ten of Swords creation. It's the start of the 22-part X-Men crossover that, after reading a little bit more from Jordan White and a few others, they say that everything's pretty much essential to read, the whole thing. It's almost like they're taking for granted the idea that X-Men fans are just going to buy it all. Like, a lot of them have already been buying it all. And, like, to be honest, sales and titles, like a Marauders title in the non-Hickman era would never kick off, even if it had that team. So there's a lot of hype and interest behind it. Now, let me tell you something. Regardless of what you think about the money grab, cash grabby, weird situation of the 22-part crossover that goes into everything, that's okay. You're right. 100%. But man, I love this issue. I love Apocalypse. I love that they have subtly been sneaking in this story in Excalibur, and it's why I stuck with Excalibur, because I was like, what Apocalypse is doing is going to be something, and it leads into revelations about Apocalypse's history and past that we've never known, our introduction into the First Horseman, the Summoner, the Betrayal, all this craziness, this mad grab for 10 magic swords to fight against 10 other magic swords from beyond Otherworld. It has multiversal, omniversal type stuff. It's Hickman. He's building it up brick by brick. Speaking of brick by brick, in this last week, since this issue came out, I have reread X-Men 1 through 12. And let me tell you something. Do not sleep on X-Men right now. I know that over the course of the last year, we've been kind of just being like, Hickman's X-Men's good. He's laying seeds. He's got some good ideas. But overall, each issue seems like it's kind of thin or whatever. Because they were mostly single issue stories, I thought that they wouldn't connect so well together even on a reread. But when you do it on a reread, holy cow. X-Men is so much better on the reread. The Jonathan Hickman X-Men run, X-Men 1 through 12, so much better on the reread, and definitely worth rereading as you're absorbing Ten of Swords. This book was epic, it was ambitious, it was boisterous, it was explosive in a very serious, Hickman-y type way. It felt a little bit like East to West meets the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Like the Four Horsemen of East and West? Well, why not just throw that kind of... It's not like East to West, but it's got as much density and richness and all the scheming and all the layers of it that I think is absolutely phenomenal. It was my pick of the week. What was yours? And what'd you think about Ten of Swords? Curious to know. There were a lot of good books last week. They were all at near the same level for me. But that's the one that stood out just for almost ambition's sake. Let's see here. So S Squared did already say a few. He said Gideon Falls and Flash and Speed Metal. Those are all great books. They all made it on my top 10. Flash 762 says, Jacob, yeah, it's a bittersweet issue because it's really exciting to see the culmination of Joshua Williamson's run, but it's also really incredibly sad to see his run end. And now we know that we're going to have months of like filler, tie-in-y type stories. And I don't know if we've actually got the long-term plan in place yet, at least I should say announced. I think that the run that's starting next issue is just kind of a filler, like a stopgap measure almost in a way. So I really want a big name on Flash, but like we were talking about last week, with all these rumors coming out that Warner Brothers is telling DC to cut down on the high dollar contracts, they could have the potential to lose some big creators that would do exceptional runs on books like The Flash. People like Tom Taylor, Tom Taylor I don't think is quite at that level yet in pay, so I think he could actually step into any of these books, Superman, Flash. So Tom Taylor's one to look out for sure. But like a Grant Morrison 5-year run on Flash could be like the most confusing and mind-boggling and awesome thing out there. I don't know though. We'll see what happens. Who knows? The Flash was great. It was really good. Gideon Falls, D-Mets, hell yeah, that's a great book, and that's how you just keep the book stays innovative. It doesn't repeat itself. It keeps pushing. Like it repeats itself. It has repetition, obviously, with the smile and the motifs and everything like that. Visual cues that we see with all the circles especially. But it all is always doing it in a different, more push-forward, innovative type way, and I think it's just awesome. Gideon Falls, although that went too fast. Paul, I could almost say that about almost every issue of Gideon Falls. It goes so fast, but the trades even read fast, but they have more impact as one story. Once in Future, Easy Reader says, what a great book. Twitch says, Ten of Swords easily. Holy cow, was that awesome. Hell yeah, glad you liked it. DMet says, Autumnal was awesome too. Yeah, I read that one again, and I got to read issue number 2, and yes, that is definitely one to look out for. Venom was good, and Ten of Swords, and of course Speed Metal. Yeah, 3 big 2 books that were awesome. I know people always say things like, you never put mainstream on your pick of the weeks or on your big 2. I'm like, it happens, it doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. In fact, no one company owns the pick of the week. Just let you know I'm not a shill, y'all. I'm keeping it real. Whatever. We got a super chat from Reggie, my man. What's up? How are you doing? Thank you. Thank you so much, Reggie. Reggie says, the best comic book show on the internet. I really do appreciate that. And Reggie, you have brought us up to 15% completion on the funding of the Punisher van. Just like the Joker van that we all pitched in on and got. Thank you, PCP Army. We're now trying to get the Punisher van. It's pretty much the exact same toy with some extra special features. We got one already. We're 15% there. Reggie, thank you so much. If I remember correctly, you were our first 5% last week, so I really do appreciate it. That means 10% of the 15% came from you, my man. I appreciate it. Tell you what. Anytime you want to borrow the Punisher van, Reggie, or the Joker van, it's yours. You just come pick it up, and you bring it back next weekend, and we all good. Thank you so much, my man. We were talking about our favorite books of last week. So let's see what everybody was saying. Mudfoot says, I got the Scotty Young Ultraman and Juggernaut comics. Those are great covers. You know, I've noticed the Scotty Young covers aren't quite as hip's the wrong word, but they're not quite in fashion like they used to be. Now it's all about, well, it was even more about Matina and Art Germ, and then now it's more like towards who's the preeminent ones right now. Well, Matina ones are still cool, but like Jenny Frison is still popping, like especially some of those covers on what's that book? Something is Killing the Children. So yeah, like there's some really good ones. The Peach Momoko, obviously. Shannon Meir, obviously, who just joined the PCP Army on Facebook today. That's awesome. I got to get me a Shannon Meir cover now. How much is that Venom one? That was one of my favorites that he's done. But hell yeah. Tacky says Suicide Squad #9, such a great book. I'm going to be sad to see it go, but it's man, that was a big issue on it. Has the potential to be a big issue. We'll see what they do. There was part of it where I was goofy. I thought it was goofy for most of it. That's why I didn't rank higher in my top 10, because did it even make my top 10? I don't think it did. Did it? Yeah, it did. But it didn't rank super high because the entire time I'm like, y'all know and I know that that's not Superman. It was just reading way off. That's the only problem I have with it. I don't think anybody in the comic book industry has $1 million contract. Slime says, what's up, man? I'm not buying any of the other parts besides the one-shots and the main X-Men title. I don't care if it makes less sense. I'm not paying for 15 other books I don't regularly buy. Slime, 100% there you go. Now, I will let you know as I read along with them, obviously, if it is incredibly essential. But I honestly think that if you just keep with the Hickman bits, and if you keep with the 3 one-shots, what is it, Creation, Destruction, and something, I think you'll be fine, honestly. Reverse Amoeba says, loved 10 of Swords. Eric says, Gideon Falls and Justly Dark 26, along with the 10 of Swords, yeah, and of course Suicide Squad. Billy says it's going to be 22, yes, 22 books. It's crossing over pretty much everything. Wolverine, X Factor, like the next one is this week is X Factor. X Factor is the next part. 10 of Swords hardcover later this year, waiting for that. See, that's a great way to get it. See, those people that buy collections and omnibuses and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of easier for them to make these decisions because they're like, yeah, sure, 10 of Swords, let's buy it. There it is. Weekly, you're going to be like, we're going to be getting 2 or 3 or 4 of these chapters a week sometimes. Think about that. Are the one-shots and the main X-Men enough to get the story? Marvel's been shitting the bed on their events. I don't know yet, Comic Book Therapy. They're trying to allude to the idea that it's not, but that's always their job to do that. Their job is to every single one is going to widen this story. I honestly think what's going to happen, from what I can guess, without trying to get too spoilery about what happened in Ten of Swords, but each book will have its own journey to get the blade. Do you get what I'm saying? And so right now, the gist of the story is to get the blades and then meet for the battle. I'm pretty sure the battle is going to be in stasis. That's what the next one is, the next one shot. So I'm pretty sure that all of these things are going to be them trying to get the swords up and get ready. And then the battle is going to be in stasis. And then there's going to be another thing to get to. And then there's going to be that round of tie-ins, if you will. And then the final bit. So I honestly do think that even with just the one-shots, if it's done structurally in a good way, that should be alone enough. But I think that each book is going to give you, I think Excalibur is going to deal with Apocalypse, 100%. He's going to have a sword, probably the Scarab. One of the ones mentioned is the Scarab, and Apocalypse is one of the ones with the sword. Just look at the covers of the one-shots coming up. You can see what's going on. So, yeah, I think that basically, this issue of X Factor, they're going to be trying to gather up one of those swords or something. New Mutants is probably going to be dealing with Ileana, being one of them, holding her sword. Can't remember what the name of her sword is. But yeah. So I think, Cable has already got his sword. That's probably going to be there. Wolverine's going to go get the Muramasa blade. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the idea of what they're doing there. What's up, Marco? How are you doing? Much love from the UK. Hell yeah, brother. Arminio says, Ten of Swords for me, too. You know it's good when it's Robbie's top pick and it's Marvel. Well, thank you. Billy says, Venom is great. Yeah, it is. Fable says, Ten of Swords for me. I've enjoyed the most of the Dawn of X stuff. Hell yeah. Bruce likes Venom. Hell yeah. Venom was good, too. You know, that artist on Venom is on this week's Multiverse's End, the death metal tie-in. So I thought that was pretty nifty. I like the coloring better on the Venom, though. I have already read my DC book, so don't worry. In Act 2 of tonight's program, we'll be doing a little bit of an early peek at my thoughts on the DC books. All right, let's jump down a little bit. Bruce is mad, weird stretching about his Cowboys Sports Illustrated collection. I love it. Hell yeah, brother. Man, I dig the Scotty Young Goofy cartoon covers. Me too. I know they were super hyped for a moment, and they've done so many of them. I think they've, like, some people, they don't hit as much. They don't sell as much as they used to. I just joined the PCP Army today. Just reopened my Facebook. Just waiting for admission. Okay. I haven't had any requests for approval today except for from Shannon. Oh, there's someone right there. Okay. Derek says, I read Stillwater. What'd you think about it, Derek? What'd you think about it? Cocaine says, I'm in nursing school, so I rely on you and Bueller to make sure I get the best on the market since I don't have much time. Love Ten of Swords. Well, thank you so much. Bueller is my homie, and I do feel like me and him cover a lot. Also, don't forget Jim Mint. We'll keep you in the know with a little bit of a different perspective at times on the new Comic Book Day pools. And he reads a little bit more mainstream at times than I do. Who do you think will be the Warriors chosen? Well, we've already seen that. We've already seen it. It's all, if you look at the cover of I think it's Ten of Swords Stasis. I think we already know him. I think it was in the very first image we ever saw. It's like Apocalypse, Wolverine, Magic, Storm, Cable. There's 5 of them. There's more though. Warlock. Warlock is a sword. So I just got to look at that image again. And if someone can just find that image, I'm sure they can just let us know. Like if you look at the Mark Brooks cover, I think that's pretty much the 10 right there. They're all holding the swords and everything. The swords isn't even the most important thing. And the most important sword, or the biggest sword revelation, I guess, would be the satellite. So, the space station or whatever. But maybe it's a red herring. Maybe those covers are red herring and something else is going to happen more in these other issues like, say, X-Factor and X-Force and Marauders. Maybe something more happens there to lead into different people taking up those swords and becoming the warriors. But who knows? Will this Ten of Swords run be good enough to fill the holes in my soul? No. Unfortunately not. I don't think anything from Marvel or DC is going to be good enough to fill the holes in your soul, buddy. I've only found that from indie books. But it's only temporary, you know? They don't fill them completely. That being said, I'm about to contradict myself because like Kirby's New Gods is a book that really fills my soul. No shit, it really does. It's like going to church reading that book. It really is. But that's a good question. Bruce says, pre-ordered the Jack Kirby Captain America Omni today. Also, Brubaker Captain America Volume 1 Omni. Anybody else? Not me. Jack Kirby Omni. Are we talking about 60s or are we talking about 70s? We're talking about 70s. I'm super interested. I've been waiting for that stuff to get back in print. I contemplated getting the rundown, but I just can't afford it right now. That third run of Captain America by Jack Kirby from the 70s, with Falcon and the Mad Bomb and all that stuff is fucking awesome. Reverse Amoeba says, I know Robbie hates the book, but Doctor Doom was awesome this week too. It does not matter, Reverse Amoeba, if I hate the book. I'm glad you enjoyed it. There was plenty of things about it I enjoyed, to be honest. That book just irks me for some reason. Marco says, the shop I work for in the UK is still getting delays on comics. It sucks. That does suck. That really, really does. Derek says, Stillwater was a great first issue. Hell yeah. Right now I'm trying to think, because this week is supposed to be our best comics of the month live stream. It should be on Dylan's Comics. He's trying to figure out what day he wants to do it. I think last I talked to him, he was leaning towards Saturday instead of doing our typical after Horror Fest, after dark thing on Saturday night, doing the monthly comic book meetup then. But it is coming this week. So it will be on Dylan's Comics. Just so everybody knows. But I've been thinking about what my favorite comic book of the month is. And so far, it's probably a toss-up between We Only Find Them When They're Dead and Stillwater. Captain Carrot variant cover this week? Yeah, it's like an incentive on Multiverse's end. Kanto will fill your soul. You're right, Nick. And what's up, Nick? How you doing? You're right. It will fill your soul, but it's only temporary. Are you and Jim reviewing the new 3 Jokers? That's up to him. If he wants to do it, I'm down. We were wanting to do one this week, but schedules just didn't work out. Oh yeah, Thomas, I read that Stargazer comic. I really liked it. I thought that was the best debut issue from Mad Cave yet. I really did, and that's high praise, I think. Yeah, Doom writing the Cocaine Bear. Drew, member of the Excitable PCP crew, shared that in the PCP Army. It's straight on a ripoff of the Cocaine Bear meme. Doom riding a bear is badass though. And I also love the moment where he's like, feed them to my bear. But it's the Cocaine Bear. It's like, I know that artists do all kinds of tricks. And especially if you're drawing a bear, you're not going to draw a bear from fucking memory. You're going to be looking up pictures, right? But goddamn, dude, to pick a meme, like something that so many people are familiar with, and do that, like it's going to be so obvious. Like, I don't like lazy swiping. Swiping happens. Swipe from the best and try not to get, caught. And if you don't, you're a genius, or it's an homage, right? But when you swipe something and it's a lazy swipe, like a popular meme or pornography, like Greg Land, I mean, there you go. Not saying that it's a weird stretch to swipe from pornography. I'm just saying it's a weird stretch to swipe from pornography for certain page structures in superhero comics. It's obvious and it's weird. What's up, Steve? Steve says, I see they're coming out with a great machine, which is based off of Ex Machina comics. All the best shows and movies seem to be coming from comics. There are great ideas in comics, Steve. And that's why I think it's where the indie comics are flourishing so much, is because we're getting so much original content. Because movies right now, for the most part, are pulling from proven successes, franchises, adaptations. They're adapting books. They're trying to build a franchise. They're pulling from comic books. They're pulling from all these famous children's novels. They're doing all kinds of stuff. And if you want original content, for a while there, it was TV. And TV still gives you some original content, but notice how much TV's getting into that kind of train of thought now. Some of my favorite shows of the last few years have been adaptations of comic books and books and films. Things like that. Think of Lovecraft Country. Think of Umbrella Academy and Doom Patrol. Think of tons of them. But then there's still good original content out there. But when it comes to independent comics, that is just a plethora of original ideas and contents and interesting mashups and genre tweaks and all kinds of cool stuff happening in comic books. And I think that's why they're so rife with creativity right now. And that's one of the reasons why I love independent comic books, is because it is pure, unadulterated creatorship and story and innovation and effort from the best ones. And it's original and it's always dope. Not always, but when it hits, man. Yeah, I'm glad they're finally getting that going. I've never read Ex Machina, but I know they didn't get to call it Ex Machina because of the movie that they did, Ex Machina or whatever. So there you go. Eric says, Dr. Doom was nominated for an Eisner, so not everyone hates it. I know. There's just something about that book that irks me. I feel Victor is off. That's just me, though. What's up, Greg? I've been meaning to read New Gods for a while, and you just pushed me over the edge. Hell yeah, brother. New Gods by Jack Kirby is really good. You just remember, read it in context. It's what you should always do when you read a book from another decade. Mudfoot says, by the way, you're absolutely right about the ending to Kids and Sweetheart. Well, thank you. Unfortunately, I feel like I was right, but yeah, the ending of both of those were kind of weak. Kids didn't have a bad ending. The way they presented the ending was really shitty. To really do a whole entire 6th issue that wraps up the story in like 8 or 10 pages and then have the rest of the issue just be bullshit filler is a really shitty cash grab, and I just had to call it out. Otherwise, I like the book. I think the trade will be a great buy. But if you were buying that issue to issue, they fucked you with issue number 6. They did. And I don't like people getting fucked like that. I'm sorry, Herminio, that you work Friday and Saturday night, but at least you get to watch on the replay. I know it's not the same. Robbie, tell us how good Giga is. Thomas, I actually did like almost a full-on advanced review of it last week on this program, but it's great. It was my favorite debut from Vault this year. It gave me the feels that I had immediately after reading Little Bird #1 last year. This could be, depending on how much of the story they get out, could be one of the books of the year. It may get pushed more into the next year, depending on what they can do. There's going to be 5 issues, I think. If they get only 3 out this year, it's going to be hard to say it's the book of the year if I don't know the ending. But I'll be honest with you, Giga #1 was something special. What they were able to build up into in just one issue was brilliant to me. It's a great concept for a story. It's an original concept with familiar tropes. I had a lot of fun with it. I liked the artwork. It had really detailed and rich backgrounds and landscapes too. A lot of stuff was going on. It handled the acting of the characters incredibly well. The coloring was spot on. The lettering is the best because it's Aditya Bidikar. He's just the best letterer in comic books right now. It adds an element of character and style and tone to the book that most other letterers just don't even probably think about doing. To them, it's just a utility. We got to see him speak, but Aditya makes it like part of the atmosphere of the book, which is crazy to me. Other letterers do it, but nobody like Bidikar. Yeah, and Alex is a brilliant guy. Oh my God. When we had an interview with Alex, I was so fucking nervous because Alex is not only a really good writer, and not only is he part of White Noise, which is just filled with brilliant fucking writers that I just adore and idolize. Like, the way I was in the 90s about Warren Ellis and Grant Morrison and Neil Gaiman and Brian Michael Bendis, that's how I am about Alex and Ram and Ryan and Dan. And not only is he a great writer and part of a collective of great writers that I highly respect, he is an incredibly intelligent individual. He is super smart, and it intimidated the hell out of me to have a conversation with him for over an hour. And what a great dude. Every interaction I'd ever had with him was great, but then meeting him through the internet still, but that was such a great experience for this year. In a shitty year filled with a bunch of shitty moments. There have been some great moments, and they've all involved PCP. And meeting Alex and having that show with him was one of them. 100%. 100%. So Giga's really good. And I would highly encourage you to check it out. I think FOC is... I don't think it's this Monday. Maybe it's next Monday, but it might be this Monday. But seriously, just send your shop an email or a Facebook message, however you got to do it. Just let them know to get you a copy of Giga #1. Because Heavy #1 came out from Vault. It sold out. And that led people to start noticing Vault. I don't think it hurt that Jim Mint did his very first ever Vault comic book review and gave Heavy a very good review. So Heavy sold out. And so when Autumnal came out, It sold out and started going. People were asking for crazy amounts of money, and it sold out because now people are starting to jump on the idea that, oh yeah, Vault Comics is low print runs, original ideas and concepts, and really good stories. One day, someone could catch on to this. I've been saying that for like 2 years. I'm just saying, I buy every Vault book, every cover, every printing. Why? Because this is original idea. It's original concept. It's innovation. And a lot of them, so far, you know, they did Vagrant Queen. It made that book pop off just a little bit, but that show wasn't destined to last. It was Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi Channel can't turn great comics into great shows for some reason. They tried it with Morrison. They tried it with Remender. They tried it with Vault, and they failed 3 times. That's Sci-Fi's fault, in my opinion. Hey, what's up, Bueller? Bueller's here. But anyway, seriously, so right now is a good time to get back into Vault. So Giga's the next one. Giga's the next one that's going to hit and hit hard, I think. But also, I'm a shill for Vault. So what do I know, right? What's up, Bueller? Everybody, Bueller's just reminded me about this. You got to vote for Thunderdome. I am in Thunderdome on Comics with Bueller. Every Tuesday morning, he releases his weekly top 10 video. It's his top 10 most anticipated comic books. It's a great list to start thinking about what you want in comic books. If actually, the best list to start thinking about what you want is the video he releases on Wednesday, where he shows you all the comic books that are coming out the next Wednesday. But then on Tuesday, he gives you his top 10. And in that top 10, he started this new thing called Thunderdome. And I am a contestant in Thunderdome. Right now, we're holding on to the lead. But I need people to get on to Comics with Bueller, find that weekly top 10 video, go to Thunderdome, and comment and vote for PCP. Because my pick of the week was Ten of Swords. And we make our Thunderdome picks of the week before we actually get to read the books for the most part and make our actual pick of the weeks. But y'all, we need your votes. I want to win. We get a $50 grand prize. Whoever wins, the first to 50 points gets a $50 prize. We have no idea what it is, but I bet it's comic book supplies, and I'm really, really excited. I want to win this. I'm competitive. I love my competitors, but I want to win. So PCP, come on. Let's come through. Let's push through. We were dead last 1 week because I picked Bill and Ted, but I'll let you know this. I will always pick from the heart. I will never pick what I think is going to be the easy choice. Like this week, I could have picked Venom, but I didn't. I picked Ten of Swords. Why? Because I love that book, and I was super hyped to see what's going to happen after X-Men 12 and Excalibur number 12. This week, I'm going to go ahead and let you know. My Thunderdome pick, it ain't the easy stuff. It ain't 3 Jokers. Yeah, that could be easy. Everybody's excited for that. But I picked Department of Truth, the new James Tynion book, in which every conspiracy theory we've ever thought about is true. And how does Tynion throw this together into a really interesting creator-owned Image comic book? I'm excited to find out. And I'll tell you what, it's the Teen Dog Shades officially approved comic book, so you go ahead and get that one this week. It's going to be a big deal. Anyway, what's up, Bueller? How you doing? Be sure to check out Bueller tomorrow morning for the Coffee and Comics video. They're going to be talking about, I forgot the subject. Bueller will remind me. But he says that in that, yeah, you'll see me debuting the unofficial theme song for Coffee and Comics. Nice. I know which clip you picked. I bet you're nearing more picks. You probably need more clips now. You just let me know if you need more. I'll send them to you. If you want to cancel my segment, that's fine. I understand. I'm just always expecting Bueller any day to be like, bruh, we're going to stop doing your pick of the week segment on Coffee and Comics. People don't like it. I love making these little things for Bueller, and I think they're just going to get more and more elaborate. If I get to do another batch, I'm going to have my cats involved. Devil's Red Bride is one to watch in the future, too. Absolutely. Absolutely. Vault, Aftershock, Boom, lots of great indies lately. Hell yeah. I've been loving Vault since These Savage Shores. These Savage Shores is still one of my absolute favorite comic books. We were asked a question, I think it was Friday night in the back chat of the Horror Fest review. So when we do our live movie reviews, it's only like an hour and 15. And then the rest of it, it's usually a 3-hour show. The rest of it is what we call PCP back chat. And it's just us bullshitting and talking, just hanging out. We were asked what we most wanted to see out of a horror comic adapted into a movie or a TV show. And I picked These Savage Shores. Of course, a bunch of other ones were picked before I answered. like The Plot, like Gideon Falls. Lots of good ones. I know, Billy. I want to be the man who leaves. Thunderdome. I guarantee you that Bueller would beat me in a deadlift competition. I say this because of this. Have you seen Bueller? He's fucking Sasquatch size, yo. I'm just saying. Look at the unedited picture of him and Brian Michael Bendis. Yep. Things to change in the comic industry. That's right. Bueller always going with the easy questions. Just kidding. That's a tough one. What would you change in the comic book industry? Woo! Are you going to talk about what Jerry Conway said, Bueller? Did you? I guess I should say you've already filmed it. The thing I would change in the comic book industry would be that I would make sure that comic books were available in supermarkets, on the newsstand again, basically, in gas stations. I would put them out in Walmart, bright and vibrant. I would put ads. Like if we're launching a big Black Widow movie, I'm going to put a damn trailer for Ten of Swords. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to do something like that. Let more people know that comics exist, and then that they're going on, and they're influencing these shows and movies and video games that you love and adore. So I would do that. I would try to do a more concerted effort to go beyond the direct market. But I would not forsake the direct market. I would still keep top creators at the big two. I would try to do whatever it would take to keep a Hickman or a Snyder or a Morrison or a Brubaker or a Remender. I would do whatever it took to keep them there. Give them some freedom. Give them a higher paycheck. Let's just do it. That's what I would do. But there you go. Chris, what's up? Looking forward to the return of Fearscape and the new Alex Packnadel from Vault. Yeah, we were just talking about Giga a lot. It's really good. I've read the first issue of stuff. Hey, Jay Strick's in the house. He said, what's poppin', PCP Army? Pop, pop. Really excited for Horror Fest on Friday. Me too, brother. Me too. I tried to watch Day of the Dead last night after the show, and I was just like, I made it 20 minutes in, and I was just like, first of all, I know this movie like the back of my hand. How really do you know the back of your hand? Anyway, but I couldn't make it all the way through. I was about to fall asleep. So I just watched some Lakers highlights and post-game coverage and then fell asleep on the couch. Woke up at 2 a.m. Ariel, my cat, was like on my head. Hellraiser would make a great TV show. Oh, wait. It did make a great TV show, and they still fucked it up. Oh, I know what will make it work. Let's throw him on the CW. Oh, God damn. Y'all. Yeah, Giga is awesome. Kevin, did you get an early look at that? That was a dope book. That's a dope book. It's got a cool concept, but it's got such emotional weight and resonance to it in a dramatic fashion that just makes it so consequentially good. It weighs. It's got weight to it. Crossover and Commanders in Crisis are two I'm really excited about. Me too. Commanders in Crisis, I think, is Steve Orlando's first Image book. And, of course, Crossover is basically... Donny Cates' big epic superhero crossover. Did you just hear that, like, apparently it seems like DC took legal action and he changed the coloring on the Captain Marvel-esque character? You could see it in the different whatnots. It's really, really good. Can't confirm or deny. I can confirm that I've read Giga number 1. It's fucking awesome. And I can confirm that I think that 1-2 Comic Top read it because he agrees. Yeah, those incoming TKO books look really good. Speaking of Steve Orlando and Alex Packnadel, I'm really pumped for the Alex Packnadel ones. He was talking about it when we had the show with him back in May. Check out the Rockin Robbie Live with Alex Packnadel if you haven't already. He lives in like a British apartment, So they don't have like good Wi-Fi or internet or whatever. So he's kind of like fuzzy, but you can hear him the entire time. And you can see me and Brian just be like super nervous to interview someone who we highly respect. Not saying that everybody else was easy. You know, Justin and David and Liana, and Zach and everybody. We still get nervous to do some of these because we really respect their work, but it's becoming more fun now. But Alex was like the first one we did. So I was like, we might as well start with like a hero. I got the coolest thing from Leon in the mail today. And I didn't set it aside for show and tell, but I should have done that. But yeah, he said that his TKO book, Red Fork, is one of the most brutally guttural and visceral things he's ever written. So really pumped for that. You know, in phase 2, TKO sent me a copy of every book, so hopefully I can get some early copies. Steve Niles is doing the other one. Well, at least this one is a horror book and not without a sci-fi tinge. Now, there's plenty of, like... I get what he's saying when I look at his work. My favorite sci-fi always has an element of horror to it, but yeah. Still not as bad as the Chris Claremont thing. And not the craziest interaction I ever had with Alex. That's on a more personal level. I get nervous every interview. I was told by a highly respected talk show host, if you're nervous, that means you care. Well, that's good. That's good. I don't get as nervous as I did for the Alex one. Alex was the first time we brought someone in that was a creator that wasn't a friend of mine. Because we had Jay and we had Lance on the show before. But even though they're published comic book creators, and Kevin, I know them. So these people, I only knew on an internet kind of level. Like I only knew through Twitter. I only knew through YouTube. So getting to meet these people face to face and then realizing that those are just as valid as relationships as knowing someone in person is even better. Have I read Department of Truth? I can neither confirm nor deny. No, I didn't. I haven't yet. Like I said, I got an early look at that months ago, and I lost it in my inbox, y'all. That's my bad. I could blame it on 2020, but that's my bad. But I do got to look at the next issue of Something is Killing the Children, and I'm going to read that this week, 100%. So, just so you know. What's coming up in comic shops this week? Let's take a look. Let's do something different. Let's start with Image. From Image Comics. And like I said, if you really want to know this earlier, check out Bueller's video on Wednesdays. In fact, this upcoming Wednesday, he'll be talking about the first new comic book day in October, which signifies the 4-year anniversary of the weekly comic book review. That's right. Weekly comic book review started in the very first Wednesday of October 2016. So, not this week, but next week will be the 4-year anniversary of the weekly comic book review, and that will make 4 years of not missing a single week. There was a week of that I was in the hospital overnight. I didn't stay overnight. I was just there late at night, I guess I should say. And I still did the weekly comic book review. Anyway, from Image Comics, that's a weird stretch. From Image Comics, we got Ascender number 13, Bomb Queen, Trump Card number 2, Chew number 3, Department of Truth number 1, my pick in Thunderdome for this week, so please do vote for it. Ice Cream Man number 20, the third printing, another Dr. Seuss homage cover. A second printing of Inkblot number 1, Philadelphia number 8, Ludocrats number 5, Mercy number 6, Nailbiter Returns number 5, the trade paperback for Olympia. Hell yeah, I'm excited to sit down and read it all together. Could do that with my issues, but I can't find my issue 1 for some reason. Sea of Stars number 7, Spawn number 310 with a ninja Spawn cover by Todd McFarlane, and That Texas Blood number 4. From Dark Horse Comics, we've got Stranger Things Science Camp number 1, telling the story of how Dustin met Susie. Oh, no. Ooh, Ooh, the Umbrella Academy Library Addiction Volume 3 comes out this week. Hell yeah, those are dope. Hey, X-Ray Robot number 2 comes out this week. That's awesome. New Mike Allred book. Issue 1 came out before the shutdown, and it was awesome, so I'm excited to see issue number 2. From IDW, Goosebumps, Secret of the Swamp, number 1. Judge Dredd, False Witness, number 3. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, number 90. Star Wars Adventures, Clone Wars, number 5. Transformers, number 23. Transformers Galaxies, number 10. Transformers vs. Terminator, number 4. Voyage to the Stars, number 2. Let's go right into Marvel. How about Avengers number 36? That's cool. I'm excited about that. How about Falcon and Winter Soldier number 3? Probably going to skip out on this. We got Fantastic Four number 24. Biggest thing about this, 4 Alex Ross Timeless variant covers. Now, I'm not like Bueller. I'm not going to get every single one of them. But I want to get the Fantastic Four-centric ones, right? Shame on Marvel for doing 4 in one issue. Could you not space it out? You make me buy 4, and you know I'm a cover A guy. I got to buy 5 copies of the new issue of Fantastic Four. I ain't got to, but I'm gonna. Bastards. Whatever. The Giant Size X-Men tribute to Len Wein and Dave Cockrum. I think it's like a reprint of Giant Size. I don't know quite what is going on there. Immortal Hulk, Threshing Place number 1. It's a one-shot by Jeff Lemire, so definitely want to check that one out. Marvel Zombies Resurrection number 2. Marvel's X number 5. Savage Avengers number 12. Shang-Chi number 1. Great creative team on this book, so one definitely to be on the lookout for. Sleeper hit for Marvel, it seems. We should definitely check that one out. Jean Luan Wang. I want to research how to say his name. Great writer who did American Born Chinese. Star Wars, Dr. Aphra number 4. Strange Academy number 3. It's a super hype book with only 2 issues out. Like, I know it's good, but Jesus, come on, y'all. Y'all crazy. X Factor number 4, that's the next chapter of 10 of Swords. Let's jump to Dynamite. We got The Boys, Dear Becky number 5. Death to the Army of Darkness number 5. I think that's just a variant. I think that's already come out. That's why I hate Dynamite. I'm just skipping it. Whatever. From Boom Studios, we have Alienated number 6. Is it the book of the year? Does it land the ending? Does it dud out? Who knows? Let's see. I'm excited to see. It's been one of my favorite books this year. Firefly, Blue Sun Rising, number 0. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, number 54, the final issue. That's right. A third printing of We Only Find Them When They're Dead, and a third printing of Wind, number 1. All right. Some pretty good comics so far. From other publishers, Artemis and Assassin, number 5. Biggs and Tiny, number 3. Goon, number 12. Grumble, Memphis and Beyond the Infinite, number 3. John Carpenter's Tales of Sci-Fi, Vortex 2, number 4. The Possessed, number 2. The Resistance, number 6. Rogue Planet, number 5. And Year Zero, number 5. Both Resistance and Year Zero wrapping up their volume 1s. But we know for a fact that Year Zero is coming back for a second volume in December. From DC Comics, we have Batman Superman Annual number 1. Batman Joker War Zone number 1. It's a one-shot comic, kind of some tie-in stuff to the Joker War. We'll be talking about that in the second act. Batman 3 Jokers number 2. Death Metal Multiverse's End number 1. It's a one-shot by James Tynion. Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey number 3 from DC Black Label. Also from DC Black Label, Hellblazer number 10. Justice League Annual number 2. Legion of Superheroes number 9. Red Hood Outlaw number 49. Wonder Woman 763 and Wonder Woman 1984 number 1. It's like a one-shot filler comic set in the movie universe or whatever. So there you go. That's what's coming out this week. What are you most looking forward to? Me personally, I am most looking forward to Department of Truth. That's why it is my pick for Thunderdome this week. So be on the lookout for Bueller's upcoming weekly top 10 video. Vote for me in Thunderdome this week. And if you haven't voted last week when I picked 10 of Swords, do it now because the winner hasn't been revealed yet. We still have till Monday afternoon. So I'm very excited. So anyway, let me know right now, what are you most looking forward to coming out next week? And we're taking a quick break. We'll be right back, though. In the next act, we're going to be doing a DC comic book review. That's right. I'll be giving you an early peek at my thoughts on DC releases this week that I'm going to be watching. We'll be answering more of your conversation and questions and just continuing this conversation. And yes, Marvel in the 90s returns. We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back, everybody, here to Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is Rockin Robbie Live. It's the show where we chat about comic books, movies, pop culture, TV, whatever the hell you want, almost every single week here on Sunday night, and I'm so happy to be here. Join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group, and if you're on Facebook, you might as well follow us there, and you might as well follow us on Instagram. It's all part of the same social hub or whatever, so do that as well. You can support us at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine people right here. David Hatch, that is, David fucking Hatch, Alex Bryaniak, Nelson Reggie, Brian, Didi Bullseye, Dunlaney, Eric, George, Hamburger, HC, Jason, James, Javi, Jose, Josh, Lewis, Monmeat, Michael, Mikey, Nick, Robert, Sebastian, Taki, Timo, TJ, William, thank you so much for your support. We really do appreciate it. Of course, you can go further in your support with Super Chat. We're trying to fund the Punisher van right now. We're 15% to completion, so any help would be essential. Every Super Chat goes directly towards that. But lots of excitement here. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. But if you really want to support the show, just get involved tonight. Throw out a question, throw out a comment. Let's keep the conversation going. We got some excitement coming up in this act, if you will. I'll be talking about an early look at my thoughts on this week's DC books. We'll be looking at a new Marvel in the 90s. That's right. A Horror Fest themed Marvel in the 90s. So that's exciting, I think. But please, this show is fueled by your conversation. So throw it out there. Horror Fest rolls on through. We've already covered The Lost Boys and The Cabin in the Woods and Near Dark. And this week, that's right, it's George A. Romero's Dead franchise. Super, super excited for this. We'll be talking about all 6 George A. Romero Dead movies. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead, all in one crazy fun moment. But Horror Fest actually continues first. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time here on the channel, The Mummy's Hand. A live movie commentary. I'll be watching the movie and talking about it live. So you can watch along with me or you can watch along later. But that will be going on tomorrow night for Mummy Monday. PCP mystery boxes are going to be on sale tomorrow. They're going to be available in the PCP Army. That's where I will make the post. That's where we sold the last batch. People were very happy with what they got. So we're doing another batch for October. You can check it out on the PCP Army tomorrow. If you're not a member of the PCP Army because you're not a part of Facebook, and I completely understand, send me a message on one of the socials and we can see what we can do. But lots of excitement here tonight. We're going to have a grand good old time. It is Horror Fest time. And that's super exciting. I'm loving it. I see people are talking on socials right now. They're like, well, what movies are we doing for Halloween? And what should we do? What should we cover? I'm like, bruh, we've been at it, man. Horror Fest starts early here. And Horror Fest continues all throughout the entire year because we came up to the realization of this. When Horror Fest ends with Halloween 2018 on October 30th, it continues on to Halloween night over at Dylan's Comics with the live PCP crew hangout on Halloween hangout. And then we're taking a week off. But then we're coming back November 13th, which is a Friday the 13th, to cover all of the Friday the 13th movies in a live chat. So that's super exciting. And then we're going to have Bueller on the channel to talk about Roadhouse. So there's the standout. And then after Roadhouse, what is it? It's a break until Christmas time. We're covering 2 movies at Christmas. What are we covering? We're covering Black Christmas and Gremlins. So it's basically Horror Fest all for the rest of 2020. Because 2020 said, hey, we'll bring you the Horror Fest. We said, no, we'll bring you the Horror Fest. God damn it. There you go. Boom. What's up? Weird stretches all around. Fable says his YouTube is lacking bad. I'm sorry, bro. Mine was messing up at the beginning. I don't know if we've had any issues or problems. I'm just going as if we didn't. Flaming Carrot says, I like Williamson on JL with these different characters. Zermanica's art is amazing. Yes, that was a really great issue. I saw somebody, was that your question earlier? Is he the ongoing writer? No. He's just writing this doom metal story. It's a 5-part story. he wouldn't be a bad replacement. But I'm sure that soon we got to get... You would think that they were going to prepare to announce the post-death metal creative teams and stories and stuff, right? Because a lot of stuff's going to shake out of death metal, right? And that ends in January. So you'll probably start getting those announcements around New York Comic Con time, which would be in October, but that's not happening. But I'm sure maybe they'll do another DC Fandom event, but just related to comics, but I don't know. But I'm sure hopefully we'll get some going on. What's the score of the Heat game? I haven't been watching it. Station! Look up at some comments. Oh yeah, I asked you what you're most looking forward to. Flaming Carrot says, if you're talking about next week, well actually I meant this week, so. But yeah, next week, Dead Planet, Justice League, Swamp Thing, Halloween Special, Waking Hours. Hell yeah. I'm down for that. October's going to be fun. Going to be fun. Station. I need to make a station little thing to go to. So I can go. Instead of the Joker, just be like, station. Station. Anyway. 82-74, Heat in the third. Man, if it's Heat Lakers, that's going to be crazy. I still want the Lakers to win, though. What do y'all want to talk about? Are y'all just waiting for me to talk about the DC books of the week? 84-76. I'm getting live updates. I like it. Add station to the Joker video. I should. I've added a bunch. We only had one super chat, so we haven't unlocked any of them yet. There's more things that go along with it. I'm just trying to get this Punisher van funded, y'all. That's all. That's all it is. That's all it is. Lakers too big, 101. Man, the Heat are something else, though. They really, really are. What's up, Liam? What's up, Slow Flow? Jim. How are you doing? I think that was the first time I sang tonight. Maybe that's why we still have 60-something viewers here. If Tynion has a hit with Department of Truth, he's going to be a top guy. Yeah, here's the problem, though, Fable. It's what we were talking about last week. He's already the top-notch guy because he's now writing DC's most successful book, which is Batman, which isn't... I remember one time Rob Liefeld was basically trying to talk shit on Scott Snyder, and he was like, yeah, he's got the number one comic in the country. Who cares? It's Batman. That's easy. He's kind of got a point, just a little bit, right? He's kind of got a point. But Tynion's doing a great job for DC right now. And he's making big waves. But we were talking about how Warner Brothers didn't want to pay out these big contracts anymore. These high page rates for certain top-tier creators like Grant Morrison, Brian Michael Bendis, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. Get what I'm saying? Ivan Reis. Do you get what I'm saying? So, Tynion is getting paid less right now per page than Snyder and King did. So they got him before he really kind of blew up because Tynion had a slow blow up. He was a consistent comic book writer, but nothing he did super stood out. And then it just started happening. He released some indie work, and it was pretty. It was like, damn, Memetic's pretty good. That's interesting. Okay, keeps going. The Woods. Oh, you hear good things about the Woods. What's going on there? Oh yeah, he's doing that other secondary Batman book. Oh, he's doing Scott Snyder's fill-in issues here. Oh yeah, they're giving him a Justice League book. Right? Oh, something is killing the children. Boom. Wind. Boom. Right? Because it didn't quite hit at first, but now people are really. It's like a snowball. It's not super hype or nothing. I'm just saying it's a good book. He made more money selling copies of Department of Truth #1. He made more money doing that as an independent creator than he did this month's issue of Batman. So when his contract's up, whatever he signed on to do, when his story's up, when he's ready to say I need more money, when he's ready to make his next deal, and they say no, he's out. And you may be about to see an exodus of top-tier creative talent from DC. Coffee Girl Espresso Guy with Super Chat. Thank you so much. 20 Canadian dollars. I think that's Canadian. Thank you so much. We are now, let me think about it. We are now 35% funded on the Punisher van. Thank you so much, Coffee Girl Espresso Guy. With your love from Canada. Thank you for the love. Celtics tied it. I can't believe. Everybody sing along with me. You know what's coming. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth, but he likes drinking beer and he smashes them on his head. He likes the Bud Light, Corona if he's feeling spicy. His name is Hellboy. His name is Hellboy. Love that Joker. He's a crazy Joker, man. Running towards his crazy Joker van. But he won't get there. Thank you so much. Oh, man. Twitch says, my wife says this song is grounds for divorce. Well, you know, that's what happens. Comic Book Therapy loves the pan flute solo. That's what happens. Can I do a super chat in Canadian bacon? I don't know. Take that up with YouTube. Are the Yankees in trouble with the Indians? No. Nope. I don't think so. What is Bendis going to do after Superman? Well, I don't know his contract. So is he still going to have, he's got an exclusive contract. How long is that till? If they don't want to re-up it, will he go back to Marvel? Will he go full creator-owned? I would like to see him go full creator-owned because that's what Bendis' best work is. Bendis' best work, to me, is creator-owned. His best superhero work is Ultimate Spider-Man, hands down. Probably followed by Daredevil. Yeah, probably Daredevil after that. His Daredevil run, I think, is exceptional. And a classic Daredevil run. I would like to see him on a Bat Family book. I'd like to see him on Detective Comics alongside Tiny Ian's Batman. Doing a story that focuses more on the Bat Family. In a Bendis-style fashion with Alex Maleev on the artwork. Screw the Leviathan stuff. But do it there. And fuck yeah, if you want to keep doing the Leviathan stuff, do it there. But do it in a subtle nature. Don't make whole books out of it because we honestly don't care that much. Let's talk about systemic institutional glitches of systems within the structural collective super unconscious. Is that what you mean? Teen Dog Shades are not in this room right now, bro. But next Teen Dog Shades night, hell yeah, let's talk about that. Because I'm down. Superman's been lame for a while, I agree. Why is Superman so hard to write? You know, we've talked about this before, and what I thought it needed to be done to make a good Superman movie, to make a good Superman comic. It needs to be bigger than life. You need to get into the mythological roots of the character, what it represents as a messiah figure, as a sun god, as the creation that spawned superheroes. He's literally should be the top dog. He's bigger than life. All-Star Superman, I know I always say this, but All-Star Superman is 100% what you need to look to make Superman relevant and make you understand and feel it. Like, embrace the absurdity. Embrace the complex nature of his world and his powers and his character. And embrace it and have fun with it, but make it reverent and make it bigger than life. That's one of the things that makes Superman bigger than life. You got to do something like that. You can ground Superman and do a really good run on Superman. That's what John Byrne did. John Byrne grounded Superman, and it worked. And it worked for a while. That kept Superman relevant for a while. Now, even though they did have to pull some tricks out of their sleeves, like the death But grounding Superman was relevant for a while. Right now, in our time, we don't want or need a grounded Superman. We need that exuberant, explosive, boisterous, cosmic Superman. We need the cosmic superhero savior in the comic book world. That's what I think we need. We need to look towards all-star Superman and the awe-inspiring nature of stories like that. Stop grounding it. Alan Moore would never do it. Alan Moore would probably only ever work for DC again if they gave him the rights to the Watchmen, which would never happen. And even if they gave him the rights, I don't think he would do it. Kelly's story, that's Action Comics 775, Eric, where we introduced the Elite, Manchester Black. Great characters. What's so funny about Truth, Justice, and the American Way? Great story. Fantastic book. Inspired a DC animated film. Joe Kelly did a run with Jeff Loeb and J.M. DeMatteis and Doug Schultz, I believe, was the writer of the Man of Steel stuff. That is really underappreciated, and they've been collecting them as Superman, Man of Tomorrow, and these extra sides trade paperbacks. We got another super chat. Mikey, thank you so much, hitting us to 40% funded on the Punisher van, y'all. That's exciting. Hell yeah. Let's roll those funky tunes from WDZ Balls. Thank you so much, Mikey. 40% towards the Punisher van, y'all. It's 25% in just the last few minutes, so thank you so much. Coffee Girl, Espresso Guy, and Mikey. Jesus. Yeah, yo. So you know about this man, and this man's name is what? His name is Hellboy. But he's got another friend that I'd like to introduce you to. His name is Venom. Just imagine a Venom crossover with Hellboy the man. Yes, Hellboy the demon. Crossing over with Venom as he's screaming and he's moving down into disaster. And he's moving towards the pits of hell, my friend. And Venom just cannot stand the hellfire. 'Cause, you know, symbiote. But he is doing the best that he can. Hellboy and Venom team up, Marvel and Dark Horse, let's do this. Mike Mignola would do great covers. You know, that's right, my friend. Anyway, let's move on. Thank you so much. Mikey says, 5-year plan for Night Thrasher that introduces a sidekick called Spin Cycle that rides a BMX, and Thrasher is on a skateboard and they solve 90s crimes. The Marvel multiverse is ripe with possibility. So why not a world where that happens? I'd read that. I would read that. I would read that Night Thrasher book 100%. What's up? We got Brooks Gibbs in the house, and we got Jim Mint Collectibles, 2 YouTube celebrities. What's up, my man? How are y'all doing? Billy says Donny Cates on Superman. That'd be a really cool, fun thing to see. Donny Cates could do a not so grounded Superman that would be a little bit more big and explosive. But if DC is stopping high dollar contracts, there's no way you're going to get Donny Cates out of Marvel right now. He is They're golden goose right now. Mike says, what's up, Mike? Mike says, wasn't Alan Moore's Superman just called Supreme at Image Comics? Yeah, it was. And then DC wound up with it? No, that was Mr. Majestic. That was Majestic. My bad. It's another one, though, right? Another Superman analog. But yeah, Supreme. If you want to know what Alan Moore's take on Superman really would be in an extended form, check out Supreme. Samuel says, Superman is awesome. Mikey says, they can solve fashion crimes where people are not dressed 90s enough or don't have enough pouches or spikes or leg straps. Okay. Say what you want about Night Thrasher. That's my bruh. And I love the board. I love that he still rocks the board. I think that's a bold move in 2020 comic books, superhero comics. Was it like 1990? Right? When 1990, when New Warriors came out? So I'm like 9 years old, yo. That is the perfect fucking year for me to just fucking love this book and in particular love Night Thrasher. I loved him. Stefan said Donnie on Soups. A lot of people have been saying it. I think that would be a great idea. There's just no way he's leaving Marvel right now. No way. So DC has some really great talent that can take over Soups after Bendis leaves, but I don't think they're going to pay top dollar for it. So I don't think you're going to get Snyder on any DC proper book after this. I think he's moving more creator owned at this point. He'll still crank out the end of American Vampire, but I think he's moving on to Witches and Undiscovered Country and trying to create more stuff like that. If DC's not going to pay him, then there you go. And there's nothing wrong with that because he's hit a point in his career where he could leave it and look back and be like, I'm really proud of my run at DC Comics. He revolutionized Batman and he revolutionized Justice League and a Crisis Event. So I think it's pretty dope. But they could be leaving some people out in the wind, man. Like, maybe Mark Waid's cool to come back. You know, that's the rumor. Mark Waid. And then that leads me to think of Mark Waid and Grant Morrison when they had an idea to tag team the Superman books in the late 90s. And they got their pitch declined. And that's when Loeb and Kelly and company came in. And Tom Payer, I think, was involved in that. And then maybe even Mark Miller was involved in that at that time. That wouldn't happen now, though. But 100%. Grant Morrison and Mark Waid teaming up on the Superman books, like one doing the one and the other, like Superman by, Grant Morrison, Action Comics by Mark Waid, or vice versa, or whatever. That would be super cool. Or either or, just doing their own thing. That would be great. I think that the most likely candidate right now is Josh Williamson or Tom Taylor, because I think they're going to try to stay more in-house, more low-key. And Williamson and Taylor are creators that are ripe to blow up, but haven't quite blown up yet. Not fully, because they haven't been given the shot on such a big launching title. They've been tested, though, and that's what Batman Superman is with Williamson right now, is they're testing him to see if he can take his success in Flash and move it into the big two. Kate's on Snowflake and Safe Space. I'd read that, because he would do something badass with that. He would. His name was Venom. I think Taylor's going to be the one. Because they're going to look for someone. It seems like basically Warner Brothers is saying trust the brand and the characters more than the creators right now. I think that's a mistake. I think you need creators that trust and understand the brand and characters, but whatever. So we're not going to get like the dream teams. But Tom Taylor, I think, is a really good logical choice. Josh Williamson, maybe, but I would be more excited for Tom Taylor to do something with it. But I also would worry that Tom Taylor would get too into grounding Superman. And as I said before, what we don't need right now is a grounded Superman. I think we as a society, as a comic book readership, need a free to blossom into the cosmic absurdity that Superman comics could and should be in moments like these. I think that the time for a grounded Superman is done, and we need a little bit more of a flamboyantly explosive, over-the-top giant, epic, cosmic approach to Superman, grounded in a way. There is a grounding to it. The grounding is us. The grounding is humanity. Superman, we're done with the time for Superman to be us. We now need Superman to be beyond us. And we need something more like All-Star Superman. That's just me, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone like Tom Taylor is going to come in and make ground Superman, take away his powers, make him have to grab a fucking a cane with an S shield on the top on the knob, and he has to hit it on the ground and become Superman. And maybe it'll be the biggest, most explosive Superman story ever. I fucking doubt it. But I'm just saying, I think we need a really big, giant, cosmic. Think about what Venom is, a street level hero, anti-hero. Donnie took it cosmic, kept it kind of grounded, but Venom's grounded in subtext and thematic material, but not grounded in story necessarily, right? There's a grounding to it about a dude and his son trying to come to grips with it, and a dude that's coming out or still in a codependent relationship finds out he has a son. There's some really good like human element going on there, and Superman needs something like that as well. Maybe not so much with his character, but with definitely people involved in the story. But what Cates is doing with Thor, and look at all of Cates, it's not just the cosmic nature of it. It's that bridge. It is that bridge. Even Thor has no like human element to it. It's all cosmic, but it's big and it's explosive. You need something like what Cates is bringing to those books with someone at Superman who is, but also done in a very reverent manner. A little bit less rock and roll. Donny Cates is very metal and rock and roll. That's why I'm not the biggest proponent of Snyder. I think Snyder had a chance to blow us away with the Superman book, with Unchained, with Jim Lee, and he didn't. So I don't know if I trust him with Superman outside of the group setting of Justice League. I would really like to see Snyder take on like a Justice Society book, but I think that's something more for Josh Williamson at this point. Like I said, I don't think that they're going to be honoring any high-dollar contracts for some of these creators going forward. Anyway, I'm ranting and rambling, but that's what we're supposed to do. So I think Tom Taylor could do a great job, and he could probably even have one that would resonate with some people and be a moderate success. But I don't know if Tom Taylor can deliver us an explosive Superman book that would be the talk of the town, and that's what we need. Who could be, and even Morrison probably couldn't do that. Maybe Morrison's not quite, because I honestly, let's talk about this. I love his Green Lantern, but it's not hitting like other works of his have. Do you know what I'm saying? Even amongst us Morrison acolytes, it's divisive a little bit about how we feel about Green Lantern, because it seems like he's taking it a little bit less seriously, but I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that he's having more fun with it, and he's not putting so much meaning into it. There's meaning in there, but not as much as you're used to getting out of things like All-Star Superman or We Three or Joe the Barbarian or The Invisibles or Arkham Asylum or his Batman run. But is Morrison the one? I don't know. I think Morrison's time to really make a statement on Superman was All-Star Superman. I think he made a fine statement. Who could really do it? Maybe Mark Waid's time has passed. What would Mark Waid give us? Would he give us just classic throwback Superman tales? Would he give us something truly epic? Would he be DC's Donny Cates? Who could that be? It could be Scott Snyder, but I just don't think it's going to be him. I think he's doing that already right now, but I think he's about to pass the torch. Who's it going to be? Tynion's their big star right now, but I don't think he can do it. I don't think he would do. I think they're going to keep him on Batman. Batman's a solid seller. Keep him on Batman. Do whatever it takes. Who could do Superman right now? Realistically, who could do it and really like make an impact with it? You guys want to hear a crazy thing? I just had an idea pop in my head. Stefan, right there. Holy shit. Daniel Warren Johnson. Stefan, that's a great observation. Daniel Warren Johnson? Guy that did Murder Falcon? Ooh. That could be good. No, not Tom King. He's another one of those high contract guys. Williamson or Taylor, I think, is who's going to be it, but I don't think they're going to quite deliver what we need right now of a Superman book. Maybe that won't happen until Donny Cates gets to come over 10 years from now, and he's a little bit more of a veteran in the industry. And does it a little less rock and roll and a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more reverent. See, Christopher, I see what you're saying about Wade's Superman statement, but that's not Wade's statement on Superman. That's Wade's statement. I mean, it is Wade's statement on Superman to a point, but it's more of a statement on the anti-Superman, right? So I just know that Wade has the potential to do something really great with it. Could he do something really great with it now? I don't know. I think we need the most explosive take on Superman we've ever had. I think we need a Rom V. Bruh, Derek, I didn't even think about that. I am eager with ideas right now. Rom V has I haven't seen too much from Rom V that's super explosive. But if he can channel that with what he already does, oh my God. Bruh, I think Derek just nailed it. It's Rom V. Rom V's the guy right now. Let's get Rom V on a Superman book. It is, Thomas is right though, it's too soon. We got to be realistic about it. It's too soon for Rom right now, isn't it? They're testing him out still. They're not going to put him on Superman right now. But that would be fucking dope. That would be fucking dope. Well, the problem with, I think he's going to have a great run on Catwoman, but he's going to have a short run on Catwoman because I don't think Catwoman's going to make any of these cuts that they're going to be making over the next year. I also don't think Justice League Dark's going to make the cuts. But it seems like what they would do is they cut those books, they wanted to keep them around, they would put them on something like, I don't know, Aquaman or some shit. I don't know if DC, it's not that DC hasn't let him be explosive, but what has he done that's explosive in nature like that? Like, he's done great work. I'm a big Rom V fan, but I wouldn't call these Savage Shores explosive in the nature that we're talking about for a Superman comic. Artist for Superman, keep Ivan Reis on it as long as possible. Can I get Ivan Reis, who's been my dream artist on a Superman book for the last 15 years? Can I get him to stick around for the next writer? Hey, Paradiso, all those books, they got a more subtle nature to them. He's a true artist, and I love his work. He would be great on a Superman if he can unleash that explosive side, and I think he can. Alex did it a little bit on Kino, the Catalyst Prime book. So, Francis Manapul art would be great if you could keep on. Dan Mora. Pull him away from creator-owned right now, though. I think he's on Once and Future for the duration. But Dan Mora on Superman would be dope. Dan Mora and Rom V on Superman within 5 to 10 years. Think about that. That could happen. That's what. Go ahead, put Taylor, put Williamson, do whatever. We'll wait 5 years. Let these people, we'll let it progress a little bit further. And in five years, we get Rom V and Dan Mora on a Superman book. And I think all is right. Jeff Johns has probably not looked too favorably at DC right now. I think after 3 Jokers, it's done for him for a while. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and try to will this into reality. Rom V and Dan Mora on a Superman book within 5 years. Bros and gals and ladies and everything in between. Holy cow. That's just too good to pass up. That's a brilliant idea. We're giving it to DC for fucking free right now, y'all. Let Rom, keep him around. No matter what you do with Catwoman or Justice League Dark, keep Rom in there. Keep him happy. Keep him creating. Work him through. Do what you do. Let Dan Mora finish Once and Future with Karen Gillan. They sell that. It becomes a successful Netflix show or some shit. Who knows? Whatever, right? And then you get Mora. He obviously will have to have an alternating artist, but you find somebody with the right style that would be appropriate to it. And, yeah, Rom V and Dan Mora on Superman. Pff, bruh. And do something even more bold. And let them have Superman and let Action Comics be something else for a while. Let us have one Superman book. Because here's something. If Superman is broke, meaning if it's not... Superman should be like one of the hypest books on the shelves, on the racks. And it's not. It should be. Let Action Comics be something else. Let it be a Supergirl book. Let it be who knows, whatever. Do something experimental with it for a while. But let us have one good Superman book with Rom V, with Dan Mora. Zdarsky? I don't think he would be right for what I'm talking about the direction of Superman that I want. But he could be a good factor. And they could definitely get him over there. But Zdarsky would be a high-dollar contract, so I don't know. Let's take a look at this upcoming week's DC Comics. So I read Batman Superman Annual #1. It's okay. It's Josh Williamson. It's a goofy story. It's fun. It's basically Batmite and Mixius Pitalik fighting over who's better, Superman or Batman. And it's a goofy story, but it's kind of fun. Justice League #2 Annual. It's Justice League Annual #2. It's written by Robert Venditti. Artwork by Aaron Lopresti. It's okay. It's a decent one and done Justice League story, but nothing memorable. Nothing's going to make you write home to mom. Wonder Woman 1984 #1. This is just a one-shot tie-in. It's tied into the world of the movie. I guess technically it's the first appearance of the DCEU Minerva or whatever the hell Cheetah is. I don't know, but it was really not very good. It was a very trite, simple, easy story with mediocre artwork. Wonder Woman 760, right? 763. This ends Tamaki's first arc, the Liar Liar arc, and it ends in a decent fashion. And it sets up something interesting to come with Maxwell Lord's involvement in Wonder Woman. But with Barberi on the artwork again and not Yanin, it feels lackluster. It doesn't have weight behind it. So it didn't really do much for me. So one full story into her run, and I'm just not super down for it. Hellblazer #10. Book is freaking awesome. Only 2 issues left, I think. It's going to be sad to see it go because this has been hitting the peak of what Vertigo Hellblazer was and what its greatest potential was, right? It was fantastic. I've loved this book. This is a great issue with some of the best page composition you'll see. It is absolutely beautiful. It is gorgeous. It is gritty and it is raw. And this is a big explainy issue where you start getting more of a semblance of what's going on, but it still provides a very challenging and not so easily fed read. And I love it. Batman Joker Warzone. This is a one-shot that's got a bunch of short stories in it. It's got 2 that are really good. The first one is one with the Joker and Bane. The Joker has a conversation with Bane. It seems like it's setting up some stuff that Tynion has planned to come in Batman in 2021. And it's a great moment. And it's Gilliam March is the artist, and it's a great scene. Then there's a John Ridley story with Lucius and Luke Fox that's really freaking good. And I want to say that it's Oliver Coipel on the artwork. It is. And now, initially, we knew that I think that this story was meant to kind of lead into the idea that Luke Fox was going to be the next Batman or whatever, but it's still a really good story. And then it's got some backup stories that are just okay. One spotlights Orphan and Spoiler, and one spotlights Poison Ivy, or should I now say Queen Ivy, and it's okay. Then we got Dark Knight's Death Metal Multiverses End #1. James Tynion IV, and is it Juan Gideon? Yeah, Juan Gideon. Artwork is okay. It's okay. But the story is freaking great. So all of this multiverse stuff, we know that in Metal, the multiverse has been collapsing and certain heroes are left alive and they've been sent on a mission now to go to the remaining worlds and turn off the crisis towers. And that's what this is. So this is what Death Metal has done with this first round of tie-ins, or second round. The first round was backstory, guidebook, and Legends of the Dark Knight. Now we're getting, like, basically, we don't have an issue of Metal this month. We don't have an issue number 4, but it doesn't matter because this is what happens in between 3 and 4, is Multiverse's End, Trinity Crisis, Speed Metal, and Doom Metal. And that's how you do a tie-in. This is 100% essential. 100% essential to understanding Metal, I think. And you've got a Captain Carrot moment in there that I say is the best moment of Captain Carrot's entire publication history. And then finally, the Big Daddy right there, Batman 3 Jokers number 2. We were promised a big moment in this issue. Do we get a big moment? I think we get a big moment, but it's a very subtle, emotional moment. I don't think it's the big explosive moment that we thought we were going to get, especially after the ending of issue number 2. But the emotional resonance and weight that is given in issue number 2 is brilliant. The art is once again meticulously beautiful. It's a great book. I love it. And it's a contender for Pick of the Week. We'll see if Department of Truth or somebody else usurps it. But right now, that's the Pick of the Week. It's fantastic, y'all. And this Joker, let me be honest with you. This Joker, the criminal, the first one, shit ain't even started yet, and he's way scarier than I initially thought he was. Anyway, that's what I thought about the DC books I read this week. You'll hear more about that, I guess, this week. Tuesday night for the weekly comic book review. Thomas says, I've really enjoyed this Death Metal event. So much fun. Hell yeah. Hey, what's the Heat Celtics score? And what's the Saints Packers score? Anybody? Zdarsky could be good on Miles, but I'd like to have him on something rooted more firmly in Marvel history. How about Fantastic Four? Zdarsky for 4, V for Superman. Herminio says, is there going to be 2 different Superman writers or 1 for 2 like Bendis? We have no idea. We'll see. Those announcements will probably start getting made around October-ish. So pay attention in the upcoming weeks because I think around the time New York Comic Con would have been is when we get these announcements. But we'll see. Yeah, bring in Tamara Bonvillain as the colorist too. Not just Dan Mora, but Tamara Bonvillain as the colorist. Hell yeah. With Rom V, there you go. There you go. Jimmy Olsen was fun. But I think that's the end of Fraction at DC. The book didn't sell super well. I think it did well critically, though. But him and Kelly came over because of Bendis' involvement. I think that's why Rucka came back with Lois Lane, too. But there are some strong rumors that Bendis is going to be out not too long from now. I don't know what his contract is, though. But I know that they don't want to pay him what he's used to paid for, what he's used to being paid right now. And after his Superman run lines up, and he's still on Legion of Superheroes, and we all know that a Legion book's not going to last that long. And this one's not selling particularly well. So, yeah. Saints 17, Green Bay 13. There you go, halftime. Mike says, I just read issue number 2. It's great. Agree with you on the big moment. Yeah, it's a big emotional moment. What happened to Fraction? Fraction's still doing creator-owned stuff. I think that's been his intent. I think he did the Jimmy Olsen thing because when Bendis came over, it was almost like, I'm coming and I'm bringing my crew. That Portland Comics crew that we're talking about. Kelly Sue DeConnick, Matt Fraction, David F. Walker. And keep Bendis around for real for one particular reason. Naomi. Naomi was the best superhero work that Bendis did at DC so far. His best work has been his creator-owned work. Cover and Pearl. Cover was brilliant. I think Cover is top 10 Bendis works ever, if not maybe top 5. I got to think about it a little bit more, but seriously. Heat up big, 114 to 102 with a couple minutes left. Hell yeah. What's up, Robert? How are you doing? Glad to see classic Wally West. Always. I'm glad that Speed Metal kind of handled that. Thomas said, just bought the trade of this Hellblazer. Yes, it's really good. It comes out this week from DC, the first trade. Tom Taylor is also writing a Hellblazer. He is. It's just a mini-series at DC Black Label, but I really like the first issue, though. But it's Black Label, so it's not set into any continuity or whatever. But this one is set in the original, I guess, Vertigo continuity. There's a lot of questions answered in the new issue. I've been loving it. If you're like a true Constantine fan, like if you read the Delano stuff, you read the Ennis stuff, you read the Jenkins, you read the Ellis, you read the Azzarello, you read the Carey, everybody in between that I'm forgetting about. Like if you read all that stuff and you like that Vertigo John Constantine, this really references a lot of that, and it's really cool. Yeah, that's why I think Bendis needs to focus on more creator-owned. That was always what he excelled at. And I really feel like he brought a great sensibility to Ultimate Spider-Man. But I think the biggest problem was that they put him on Avengers and not on Amazing Spider-Man. No, you're wrong, Eric. Eric says nothing in DC is continuity. No, Eric, actually, let's think about this. Everything is continuity. Because there's a multiverse, and beyond that, there's an omniverse. Can we get Grant Morrison's Multiversity too? Oh my God, he wanted to have a Flash book tied into that? Jesus. Just things that we'll never get that piss me off. Don't you find the whole Batman metal too corny? I would like to rest Batman for a bit and push out the characters. Well, here's the thing. DC ain't going to rest Batman because that's their bread and butter. That's why you got more Batman titles each week than anything else. There's always a Batman book, it seems. So just business-wise, they're always going to be pushing Batman above the others. Is metal too corny? Not for me. It's corny. It is. Let's be honest. Superhero comics. Let's look at the entire duration of superhero comics, not just since like 2010 or 2000, which is 2000, or even 1990. Let's look at the entire existence of superhero comics. Superhero comic books are cheesy. They're corny. They're dumb. Embrace the absurdity sometimes. Sometimes you got to ground it into reality, and sometimes you got to go the flip side of that, and you got to embrace the absurdity and go crazy with it. Sometimes you got to do the Authority, and sometimes you got to do All-Star Superman. So, no, metal is not too corny for me because it's just the right amount of corny, because it embraces it, it accepts it, and it has fun with it. And I have fun reading the books. Bendis' Powers comic was great. Yeah, it just wrapped up in a graphic novel, which is surprising. So I haven't read anything from the last few years, but they've released so few issues in the last few years. I got to pull it out one day for show and tell. But Powers number 11, I think that was the white cover one, because they did a sequence of covers that were inspired by popular albums that they liked or whatever, or albums that they liked, not popular necessarily. One was the White Album by the Beatles, and it was just a white cover. When I met Michael Avon Oeming, I got him to draw me a Zora on it. And Jelani got Dina. I wanted a Dina. Jelani went before me, got a Dina. I didn't want to copy him, so I got a Zora. I should have got a Retro Girl. Kind of had a thing for Retro Girl. It was weird. I don't know why. First time you see her, she's dead. It was really weird. I shouldn't even said that. I'll probably edit all that out. Anyway. I like his new Avengers. I like Bendis' Avengers run. I just think it was a mistake, I don't think that was his strong suit. Bendis' strong suit is grounded, down-to-earth stories. That's why I think he would excel, especially with Alex Maleev, on a question series or on a detective comic series. Is the ongoing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles any good? Had fun reading that Power Rangers event with them. I've only read the first 20-something issues. And I liked what I read. But I haven't read the vast majority of it. Brooks has. So we've been asking Brooks to talk about Mega Man on Friday nights when we do the movie reviews, and for like an hour or so. Then the last like hour and a half is usually just us bullshitting around. We always get people to talk about things. We get Brooks to talk about Mega Man. So this week I'll get him to talk about what he thinks about TMNT. What do you expect from Seven Secrets? Well, what I expect from Seven Secrets is this: dynamic action, beautiful coloring, great composition, an intriguing story, and I want to know, you got to tell me what the secrets are. And you got to get them released, because you can't show a loaded gun in Act 1 and not have it go off in Act 3. So yeah, really, really, really excited for that. DC starts and stops and recreates its universe so much it really doesn't matter. Well, I mean, that could, yeah, you could say that. You could say that, but you could also say that Marvel just retcons whatever they want to in and out of existence. So at least DC addresses it in stories, just two different ways to do it. But yeah. Would love Grant Morrison on a new Sideways book. He was my favorite New Age of Heroes character with the most potential. I agree. That was a great character with a lot of potential. Morrison helped out with a little bit of the ideas involving one or two of the issues, I think. But if it's true about how Warner Brothers doesn't want to pay bigger contracts to these creators anymore, Morrison's going to be out after Green Lantern. And if they did keep Morrison around, I don't think it would be on a Sideways book unless that's 100% what he wanted to do. But I think he would rather choose to do something with Superman or Flash. He's made a stamp on Superman, let's be honest. But he's not really quite made a stamp on Flash. He had a brief run on Flash with Mark Miller, and that's not satisfactory to me. I know that Morrison has unfinished business with the Flash, and I'd like to see it. Even if he doesn't wind up on a Superman book, he's done it. He's made a statement. He got to recreate Superman's origin. He got to pay respect to the Golden and the Silver Age and the Modern Age. We're talking about his JLA run for the Modern Age, All-Star Superman for the Silver Age, and Action Comics New 52 for the Golden Age. So he's covered Superman. So, but Flash, I know he's got a 5-year Flash run in him. I don't want to blame DiDio for constant crossovers, but I don't know what to blame. Well, what you want to blame is Marvel and DC. Mostly Marvel. Marvel seems to be the one that does the most excessively, and the most tie-ins. I think DC does their events a little bit more right. Like, honestly, okay, Joker War. Joker War is not an event. It's a Bat event, all right? So that's an event for Bat readers. So that's, like, there are people that read just Batman books, and they don't read anything else. This is their book. This is their event. Same thing with the X-Men, Ten of Swords, right? But, like, when was the last big DC event that they had before Death Metal? Was it Metal? Honestly, like, that's not that long ago. But it's still not just a few months ago. When was the last Marvel event? Oh, that was Empire. When was the last event before that? Oh, this was a few months before that. What was the last event? Oh, this was a few months before that. Yeah, Absolute Carnage, War of Realms. Yeah, it keeps going, so... Marvel retcons everything. Marvel just retcons it. DC addresses it directly. Why wasn't Superman around in World War II? Why was Ben Grimm no longer a veteran of World War II? It's called retconning. It's a sliding timeline thing that they do. And they do it fine. I think it works. And we believe it. And we absorb it. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying DC addresses it. The reason why Superman wasn't alive during World War II is because that was a different Earth. And then there was a crisis event that merged everything together and re-updated it. And then Doomsday Clock gave us the metaverse and this and that and all that stuff, right? Marvel just kind of slyly goes, oh, no. For instance, Ben Grimm. Ben Grimm was a veteran of World War II. Oh, no, the Korea. Oh, no, Vietnam. Oh, no, Iraq. Oh, no. You get what I'm saying? So there you go. I mean, it's just, they retcon all the time. Donny Cates is retconning stuff all the time. It's just when a writer comes in and says, I want to do something new and explain something different, and we're going to make this a little bit different, and blah, blah, blah. But there you go. So we got a Marvel in the 90s coming up, but I do got to take a whiz, so we're about to take a quick break, but we'll be back. We got a top 5, we got Marvel in the 90s, and we got show and tell. We're going to have a great third act, and keep it moving with your comments and questions and concerns and all that stuff. And this break is provided to you by, I knew it was time to throw it out again. This is Fable. That's right, Fable lent us the song that he did. It's a dope beat. I can't remember exactly what it's called. My bad, homie, but I just call it Put Your Fucking Hands in the Air. We'll be right back. My bad. I forgot. I didn't choose that song. This is a new one from Fable that we haven't heard yet, right? And it's called Back in the Day. That's what it is. Man, my bad, Fable. I botched that. Y'all just enjoy the song. I gotta go take a piss. Welcome, everybody, here to Pop Culture Philosophers and Rockin Robbie Live. I am your host, Rockin Robbie. I almost called myself Rockin Robbie Live. I'm Rockin Robbie Bills. Bills with at least 3 Z's, if you please. Anyway, how are you doing? Want to eat some cheese? What? How about potatoes, man? How about banana bread? Whatever. What's up, Joe? What's up, Twitch? What's up, Billy? What's up, Zombie Noob? What's up, Herminio? What's up, everybody? Herminio, are you saying that you couldn't hear Fable's song? Could y'all not hear Fable's music? Did I mess that up? It looked like it was playing. I hope you could hear it. Anyway, follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook, Instagram. Hell, follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. If you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group, where you can interact with me, other members of the excitable PCP crew, and, of course, the family and the Army. Y'all, we're all one. Right? The sentry kills null? You got to tie in null to the angel of death, and you got to then make the sentry, who is the opposite of the void, and the void is the angel of death. You got to tie that in. You could do it. Bleeding Cool's been speculating that it's Franklin. So there you go. David fucking Hatch is here, everybody. And you can join David Hatch and all these other illustrious patrons over at patreon.com/PCP in support of the channel. Or you can just support the channel with Super Chat tonight, like Twitch just did. Right there. We'll address this in a second, and that's exciting news, Twitch. But David at patreon.com/PCP and all that cool stuff and more. We really do appreciate it. With Super Chat, that's also, and you can also just support the channel by hitting the thumbs up button. How many people we got in here? We got 46. That's lower than we had all night. And we got 62 likes. So right now we have just as many likes as we have people here. We have more, but we had more people here earlier. But anyway, what is up, everybody? How are y'all doing? So you did get to hear... Cool. You did get to hear the music. You just skip it on Herminio. I'm sorry, buddy. Twitch with the Super Chat. We thank you so much. That brings us to 50% completion on funding. We're 50% of the way funded on the Punisher van. Thank you, bruh. %50 completed on the Punisher van. Thank you so much, Twitch. He says, segment 3, heat 1, let's go. Just so you know, this is a picture of the actual Punisher van that we are purchasing, including the talking Punisher figure, which I like because it's got that blue belt, blue strap on the leg. We're halfway there. Thank you, PCP Army. Thank you, Twitch. Hey, yo. Coming up, we got a what? Marvel in the 90s. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is David Hatch. He came to the comic shop just the other day, and he didn't have $1 to his name. But I looked him in his eye. I said you had it when you walked in the door, but I took all your money and I threw it on the floor. Now the Joker runs into the comic shop and he runs up and straight into my face. I said, you're not the Joker, you're Joaquin Phoenix, that is. And he said, I don't care, and he slashed my throat and gave David Fucking Hatch, back his money, you know. That's how it goes, toe to toe with the pro on the no. Sitting on the patio, grilling some steaks, and he says, yo, I might have made some mistakes. Y'all need to discourage me from doing this shit. What's up, David? I hope you liked your song. David's been he was our first patron, and he's been our long-standing patron, and he's always there, and we appreciate David. So we had to give David a good Joker song. Oh, lordy me. Gonna make a real Punisher van. That'd be an exciting thing to do. That'd be really exciting. The Punisher van is missing the gun that goes into the inside, but we'll find that later. Don't worry about it. His name is David Hatch. I love it. What's up? We still got a Marvel in the 90s coming up. Don't leave yet. If you have any topics of conversation, throw them out there right now. But coming up in this segment, we do have a Marvel in the 90s and a top 5 Horror Fest theme, both. And we have show and tell. And then the final 9. Not going to discourage it. My wife had to listen to it. We are halfway funded to that Punisher van. I'm so damned excited. Thank y'all so much. I'm excited. We'll have the Punisher van and the Joker van side by side. And y'all be like, damn, Robbie, that's the same toy. I'll be like, kinda. Mostly. Really. But I'm also excited for that talking Punisher. I've never had a talking Punisher. I like that. It looks a little bit different. Got a Punisher over there. It's on card. It's the one with the cap firing weapons. I want to get the one with I want to get that whole Toy Biz on card. I want to get it all. The whole Toy Biz Marvel Superheroes line on card. All of it. And I got a nice dent made. I'll just say that. We'll show them off in the coming weeks. Joe says, I love Ten of Swords this week. Hope it does not get overkill and dumb. We talked a lot about Ten of Swords earlier, and it seems like from the setup that they're going to be chasing down the swords in all the other books. But it seems like the next big moment, you know, if it's a 3-act structure, it's the 3 miniseries. There are 3 one-shots. So those are the most important, probably. And then you're going to get Illumination and the other ones. Probably most notably in Howard's Excalibur and Hickman's X-Men, for sure. But I think for the first month, all the other stories will just be them running, trying to get these swords together. Something like that. All right, Horror Fest does roll on through. We've had so much fun with Horror Fest, y'all. Thank you for joining us on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. Late Night Fear Fridays for Horror Fest 2020. We've already covered The Lost Boys. The first poll winner in the PCP Army was Cabin in the Woods. We covered Near Dark on Friday. And this upcoming Friday, we got George A. Romero's Dead franchise. We'll be talking about all 6 of these films live, 9 p.m. Central Time. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead. Or I could just say Night, Dawn, Day, Land, Diary, Survival. That's what we call them. And then Horror Fest rolls on through with Reanimator the next week, the Phantasm franchise. And then Wolfman, the Lon Chaney Jr. classic from 41. The Stephen King poll winner, which is in fact Salem's Lot. And then we're wrapping it all up in Halloween 2018. But don't worry, Horror Fest continues on after that. And even before that, it starts again tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, The Mummy's Hand, a live movie commentary. I will be watching the Universal Monster classic, The Mummy's Hand. First appearance of Caris. And I'm very excited. I think that's Tom Tyler that played that character. I'll get my research in, but we'll have a lot of fun doing that one. PCP mystery boxes go on sale tomorrow. If you're interested, get in touch with me on any of our social media outlets, talking about at the Rockin Robbie on Twitter or on Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook or Instagram. And of course, I will be making the post about it tomorrow in the PCP Army. All the information is there. And we got some excitement coming up here. So how's everybody doing? I met the ice cream man from Phantasm, Reggie. He is a cool guy and very nice. Hell yeah, I bet he is. Twitch says, I'm really interested to see how the mutants come out of Ten of Swords. You have to figure they win, but at what cost? And will they stay united? So hyped for this event. Me too. And his Resurrection Protocol. That's the thing. Resurrection Protocol is in danger at any moment. People are like, oh, so the X-Men can just die whenever, and they're really abusing that at times. Like, these X-Men die all the time now. It's like they're getting careless, but we're about to get a gut punch when something happens, and they can't do that. You know, Fable, you know Moira's got a big deal to do with it. But not yet. This is just a stepping stone. Just a stepping stone. Think about that. Pay attention to how Hickman does his stuff. If you really look at it, look at his Avengers run. And Infinity was right there in the middle. But Infinity was not the big event. The big event was Secret Wars. Is this just an Infinity? Or is it a pre-Infinity? What's going on? The Zombie Noob 1 says, I hate how the event is being handled, but excited for the story. Me too. Just read the tie-ins. Or just read the one-shots then. I think that you're going to get a 1, 2, 3 on those one-shots, and everything else is just fluff in between almost in a way. Well, last time we had mystery boxes available, Twitch, we had them available for like a few days, for a week. So, you know, if you're interested, just message. It's pretty much going to be in the U.S. only because it's really expensive. We had somebody that wanted to get one in Canada, but shipping would have been way too much on that. All in all, you're just another dick with no balls. Moira will book in the whole run. She is the alpha and the omega. I think that 100%. And don't forget, we still got the Phalanx out there and that threat and what's going on there. It's all about evolution. That's what it's about. Hickman understands that the X-Men are about evolution. That's what those movies understood at first. At first. And that's why they were successful. At first, talking about those first two, they're about evolution. It's about the next wave. And, yo, the way he has had humans, their evolution is into AI. And then AI now becomes a third factor in this human mutant war. Man. David Hatch, they are pretty much the same mystery boxes that we sell at the expo. They just cost a little bit more this time because last time I extra stuffed them because I shipped them a little bit late. These ones will be shipped in mid-October. But yeah, they're pretty much the same ones. You get a lot of comics. You get some cool stuff. There's always comics and other stuff in there we sign. And 10% does go to comics for kids. We're sending them a check very soon. And yeah, sometimes you just might get dead rabbits and turds. As me and Strickland say. $10 was $15 mystery box. What's in the box? It's got comics, maybe pops, and maybe tater tots, maybe dirty socks. It's a $15 mystery box. 30 shipped in the U.S. And what's funny is every time we're at the expo and we have like 100 of these things and we stack them up, and I always sing, all in all, it's just a... And then we're like, tear down the wall when we sell the first one. Moira McTaggart holds the key to victory with cost. Yes. Remember, when it comes to Hickman, the early issues are always so important to the ending. This dude knows his endings. This is meticulously plotted out. Pay attention. David said the last one I bought had full runs of both dead rabbits and turds. And they're not all ages boxes. They may have some like indie books that may not be kid appropriate. So if you're buying them for a kid, which most people probably wouldn't in this kind of scenario, but we always have to tell the people that at the expo. What's in the box? One of them has a Gwyneth Paltrow head. It's a replica, but no, I'm just kidding. It doesn't. Some of them may have original sketches of Tapeworm Boy by yours truly, though. Just saying. Just saying. Some of them may. Some of them may. It did have a Star Wars Black Label Poe, though. My wife confiscated it, as she should. He's dreamy. Poe's dreamy. Mike says I can create a special low shipping price for Canada. Well, you let me know what that is, and we'll see what we can do. Anyway, it's Halloween time. I don't care what anybody says. It's fucking Halloween time. And it's been Halloween time here at PCP for a while. And so, last week, Herminio had asked me, when is going to be the next Marvel in the 90s? And I was like, oh man, I don't know. So much pressure to do Marvel in the 90s. Because I love doing it, but it's just, it's pressure, man. And I said, next week we will have Marvel in the 90s, and it will be Horror Fest themed. Well, I'm sad to say that we don't. But then I'm happy to say, just bullshitting, man. Of course we got it tonight. Ready? It's time for Marvel in the 90s. And tonight we're talking about the Supernaturals. That's right. The Supernaturals was plotted by Brian, Pulido? He was the creator of Chaos Comics, Lady Death, all that jazz. The covers are by Jim Ballant, who we'll know from, of course, Catwoman. And it's written by Mark Andreyko with artwork by Ivan Reis. So you'll be seeing some early Ivan Reis artwork, less polished Ivan Reis artwork. So The Supernaturals, first of all, is a 4-issue weekly series that released in October of 1998. Now, I was in high school. I was starting my senior year. I remember this very well. Marvel was really on an upswing at this moment. Post Heroes Reborn, and it was just working. They had gone through bankruptcy, and they just had great creators working for them. And then at this time, in Halloween of 98, they were hot off the heels of Halloween H2O. They were really cranking out some Halloween content, right? Blade had just been in theaters. So we got the Supernaturals. It was a 4-issue series. It's set in a different multiverse. So this is starring familiar heroes like Ghost Rider and Brother Voodoo and Black Cat, but it's not the versions that we know and love. And yes, Eric, Brian was also the creator of Evil Ernie and Purgatory and a lot of others. So the story centers around Brother Voodoo, Jericho Drum. So this is Jericho and his brother Daniel, and their parents are killed in an act of hate against people practicing a different religion. And his brother is trying to resurrect his parents with a blood sacrifice. And in doing so, gets lost and creates a chaos event. The chaos event takes all the non-magic based heroes and it causes them to just be zapped away and disappear, along with Jericho's brother. And there you go. So Jericho is grown up now. He is now a record producer, a very famous record producer. But by night, he's Brother Voodoo. And he's got a really cool costume that's a little bit Spawn influenced, I think. Like I said, this is a different reality. Everything is different. Other heroes in this are Satana. She is a teenage model who is also a devout Catholic possessed by the daughter of Satan. Okay. And then Ghost Rider's there, and it's Johnny Blaze, but he's a little bit more of a prickish douchebag Johnny Blaze, a little bit more silly. And then you got Jack Russell, Werewolf by Night, really cool. They all start getting attacked. There you have Black Cat. It's a different Black Cat. She's involved in Democrat politics or something like that. She gets black hair when she goes into costume. Whatever. You also have the Living Gargoyle. I have no idea who this character is, aside from this book. So I don't know if this is something that already existed, but whatever. So Brother Voodoo has this vision. He remembers 13 years ago, there was this chaos event that was caused by his brother doing the spell. All the heroes disappeared that weren't magic-based. And he gets this vision that he has to unite the 5 in order to stop the upcoming evil, the evil being Jack-O-Lantern. A really cool, probably the best interpretation of Jack-O-Lantern. I think it's pretty cool. So Jack-O-Lantern then kidnaps Werewolf by Night. Jack Russell steals his soul. Now he's his slave. I love the coloring on Jack-o'-lantern throughout this entire book. So then he shows back up, and we know that he's a bad guy working for Jack-o'-lantern, but he teams up with the others, and they dub themselves the Supernaturals. They have to go stop this chaos that's been spread across the land. There's the living mummy making an appearance. That's super, super cool. And then Jack-o'-lantern shows up, and he does something through the Eye of Agamotto, because Brother Voodoo now has the Eye of Agamotto, because Doctor Strange has been disappeared. Now that this new chaos event is taking over, other magic-based heroes are now starting to disappear. So he flings them all through different bits of the world, and they encounter classic monsters and classic Marvel monsters, including Dracula, the monster of Frankenstein, the Marvel version of Scarecrow, the Headless Horseman, the Chupacabra, and the zombie, of course, the Marvel living zombie right there. Great throwbacks. I think it's super cool. And Jack-o'-lantern is just unleashing chaos on the world. You have no idea why. The planets are aligned right. And there's a great image of him with his pet, Werewolf by Night. And some of the art in here, it's early. It's Ivan Reis. It's a little unpolished, but it works and it's cool. Then he gets that horn that Namor has in the early issues of Fantastic Four to call these early monsters. And he calls out all these like Atlas Comics monsters and early Marvel Days monsters. You see them all right there, including Groot down there. Notice on the right-hand side in the middle, invading Moscow, Russia. So then Werewolf by Night decides all of a sudden, oh, by the way, I was just faking it. I've been in control the whole time. A little bit convenient, but whatever. So he saves everybody, and then Brother Voodoo has this vision in which he finds out that his brother Daniel, when he did the ritual 13 years ago, this was his plan. He's an evil dude, and he is in fact, he is Jack-o'-lantern. What? So Jack-o'-lantern is Jericho's brother. So that's a crazy twist that they have. And like I said, y'all, what a badass costume. It's so influenced by Spawn. It is so 90s and even late 90s, like late period, post 90s almost, but it works. So he has this final battle. Black Cat helps him out, realizes she has to grab the Eye of Agamotto. All the heroes band together, share their Care Bear stare, give Voodoo the energy, and he defeats his brother. His brother tells him, though, oh, the Wand of Watum, it has all those heroes that disappeared 13 years ago are trapped inside of this in an alternate dimension. And then he gets away, and as he gets away, all the monsters disappear, and there you see some of the other magic-based heroes that are briefly spotlighted in the book, like Agatha Harkness and Cloak and Dagger, and Hellcat, and Damien Hellstrom. He's got a TV show coming out. And of course, they all save the day, and they decide at the end, hey, we should be a group together. We should, go out and save the world. And this, of course, all takes place at Halloween, and it says, to be continued. If you want to see more, let us know. Maybe we'll come back next Halloween. They didn't. It is not a very well-done book at all. But it is so much fun. So let me go ahead and show you my copies. There's issue number 1. Now, these are my copies from back in 1998. I was engrossed in this story. I had no idea that this was an alternate version at the time. This was my first introduction to Brother Voodoo and Satana and Living Gargoyle. And I knew Werewolf by Night. And I knew Black Cat. This was a different Black Cat. Like, that's Black Cat right there on the cover. Jim Ballant does the covers. I know there are a lot of Jim Ballant fans out there. This is dollar book fodder. You'll find this in 50-cent dollar books. It didn't sell. It wasn't popular. And it's still just riding out there. But they have great covers. It's got decent artwork. It's a doofy story. And it's not very well executed. And it's kind of all over the place. And it's very convenient. But I have a lot of fun with this. This was a weekly series that Marvel did during Halloween using all their supernatural heroes, and they did it in a non-continuity base, even though they could have tied it into continuity, honestly, because these heroes were never used. It's the best usage of Jack-o'-lantern that I've seen in a comic book. I love that Spawn-inspired costume for Brother Voodoo. All the characters are kind of out of whack. They're all teenagers. I don't know what they were appealing to. I guess they were appealing to me, like a 17-year-old Rockin Robbie, but whatever. There's issue number 1. There's issue number 2. Love this cover. I love these covers. And at the time, I really liked this book. And I love that it was weekly. I love that one. Number 3, you got Dracula and Frankenstein and Werewolf by Night there. Oh. And then issue number 4 right there. Now, another cool gimmick that they had with this was that they all have these Halloween masks inside. So it says right there, free Halloween mask. Collect all 5, including the rare Ghost Rider mask. So I have the 4 issues. Which ones do I have? So in the first issue, and it doesn't matter, it's not particular per issue, you'll get a random one. But in the first issue, I have Brother Voodoo, that cool Spawn-influenced Brother Voodoo. I think that's dope. I never pulled those out. Maybe I should go digging for more of these in the dollar bin and pull some out and put them on the shelf or put them on the wall, especially for Horror Fest. In issue number 2, I've got the Living Gargoyle right there. And I still don't know if this is a character that was created by Polito and Andraco or if it was something. Can someone fact check that for me? Mike, I know you're here. Can you do that? In issue number 3, I've got Satana right there. So there you go. And in issue number 4, I already know what's in this one. So I just wanted a weird flex on this and weird stretch. But I've got the quote-unquote rare Ghost Rider one. And they're just, of course, cutouts. But there it is. So I don't have whatever the 5th one is. It's apparently not rare like the Ghost Rider one is. But I do have those. So I'm still on the lookout for an issue of Supernaturals. And I think it's the Werewolf by Night. I think it's Werewolf by Night was the other one. But anyway. Supernaturals. Really dumb. Super stupid. But if you're a fan of Chaos Comics, if you're a fan of Jim Balance artwork, if you're a fan of Ivan Reis and curious to see some of his early work and see how his art has grown, or if you're just a Marvel horror zombie like I am, this is something to get. And I think it's fun. And it came out in 98. It came out weekly throughout the month of October in 1998. It is separated from Marvel continuity. It's in its own universe. And I tell you what, as of now, in my 5-year Blade plan, they're involved. That's right. We're going to return to that. So let's get that to happen. Anyway, thank you so much. I hope you have a spooky Halloween. And that was our Horror Fest influenced Marvel in the what? Marvel in the 90s. So there you go. So what's up? How y'all doing? Always feel good after I do a Marvel in the 90s. I love that book. I think it's great. It's a fantastic. It's so stupid. It's not. You're not gonna read it and be like, "Whoa, this book's fucking great." No, it's a bad book, but it's awesome. Oh, there we go. Living Gargoyle's first appearance was Marvel premiere in November of 1973. See, I didn't even know about that character except for this book. I've never seen him in any other comic book. And this is a different version. They're all teenagers. They're all teenagers. Johnny Storm's this like shitbag teenager. It's so weird. You make Satana this like model who's a teenager and a devout Catholic, and she's possessed by the Satan force or whatever. And then like she's on this this photo shoot or whatever with this extreme BMX biker, and it's Johnny Blaze, and he's the Ghost Rider. So when they get attacked, they're already there together. And just the take on Black, it's all so different and weird. But like I said, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, I was like, this is my senior year of high school. I wasn't necessarily a kid. I guess I was, though. We're all still kids then. I didn't know no better when it came to Brother Voodoo or Satana, or even Johnny Blaze. Like my Ghost Rider was Danny Ketch. I didn't know too much except for Blaze was the long-haired guy that was in Spirits of Vengeance. So, but yeah, I'm glad we did a Marvel in the 90s. I'm going to try to do another Marvel-themed Marvel in the 90s in the next couple weeks. We're going to see what happens, but I want to do something else. I think I already know what I'm going to do. I think it's another Punisher one. Well, thank you, Go Flow Wolfog. What? Go Flow Old Fog? Great installment of Marvel in the 90s. Thanks. Well, thank you. Samuel says that was great, Marvel in the 90s. Hell yeah, thank you. Twitch is about to get ready to work. Good luck. Thank you, Stefan. Eric says, I'm a fan of stupid. Me too, sometimes. If you're here, you're a fan of stupid, I'm sure. Brooks still here. Brooks says stuff that was badass in the 90s is usually cheesy these days. Not everything. Not Sandman. Not Preacher. Not Invisibles. The superhero stuff, yeah, usually. But not everything. Not Starman. Not Kingdom Come. But a lot of it. Brooks, you're right. Brooks, I need to pass these off to you so you can read them. I think you'll have a trip with these. But I am still on the lookout for that Werewolf by Night. So if anybody ever finds an issue of Supernaturals at their local comic shop in the dollar bin, 50-cent bin, or something like that, if you find it and you see a Werewolf by Night mask, I think it's Werewolf by Night's the 5th one. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's Werewolf by Night. If you find it, just let me know. I'll buy it from you. I'll pay for it to be shipped. I'm looking for it. And when you look online, usually they don't tell you what mask is inside of it. I just want all 5. I got the Ghost Rider one. That's the rare one. I should be able to find a Werewolf by Night one. I think it's Werewolf by Night. I have no idea. I just guesstimate that. Are you asking me if I'm a fan of the Star Wars sequel trilogy? That's a complex question. Am I a fan? No, I'm not necessarily a fan of Star Wars. I am a fan of Star Wars, but I'm not like an uber fan of Star Wars. You get what I'm saying? So, I was entertained by the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I didn't like it near as much as the prequel trilogy. As the original trilogy. I guess I can compare it to the prequel trilogy. Like, there are moments I like and moments I don't like. So, Force Awakens is okay. I like Kylo Ren a lot. Like, he's a cool character, especially in that movie. I like Poe Dameron in Last Jedi. He cracks me the fuck up, especially in the beginning of that movie. I really like him in that movie. They could really go off kilter when they go to that casino planet. Kind of throws it around. But otherwise, I think it's one of the most beautifully shot Star Wars films we have. Rise of Skywalker, I thought was okay and fun in a popcorn way, but I felt like it was just trying to, like, fix this idea that they didn't know what the hell they were doing throughout any of them. You know, maybe like if Ryan came back to do the 3rd one, he was going to do something, but like I think when they did the 3rd one, they were like, what the fuck can we do? What do you think people want to see? So I think they just kind of did that, but whatever. So am I a fan? I don't know. I'm a fan of them as much as I'm a fan of Star Wars. I don't know. But to me, Star Wars is Empire. Like, that's the best one. Nothing has ever topped that they've done. Oh, Herminio was getting all broken up when we were doing Marvel in the 90s. Well, I'm sure if you watch on the replay, hopefully it'll be fine. Hopefully. Anybody else have a problem with the Marvel in the 90s segment? What's up, Jacques? Robbie, did you pick up the Black Hammer Library Edition 2 this week? Can't remember if you were into the collected editions. No, I am into the collected editions. I didn't pick that one up. I am way behind on stuff. I also like toys, and I've fallen behind on my toys. So I've fallen behind. But I would like to get the library editions of those because I actually don't own Black Hammer. I read it, but I don't own any copies physically of Black Hammer. So I would like to get those ones. No, I've just frozen. Are we back? Just asking about questions, now we're having problems. Just asking questions about problems, now we're having problems. I don't know if we're back yet. It looks like we're back, but yeah, we're back. Okay. Let's see. Have you seen Ankle Biters? No, I have not. Stream has been skipping all night for you. Now it's stable. Damn. I'm showing no problems on my end, but I've been having this complaint lately too. I don't know if it's YouTube or me or what. I am Will says no issues here. Well, I know that I skipped for a moment. Like, I was just on, like, a blank screen or whatever. It's a glitch in the Matrix. Maybe it's time for a new PCP machine. Maybe it is. Don't worry, though. We're not done yet. We still got some time. Is this real? I don't know. I have no fucking idea. But I know there is no spoon. There we go. I have not read Garth Ennis' Shadow. I think I may have read like an issue or two. I've read bits and pieces of martial law. I have a feeling that we're going to be doing Marvel in the 90s for a moment, but then I think I want to do some other things. Like I want to do DC and Indies in the 90s. So maybe do like a series of segments. I have some ideas, some things. Martial law, though, is cool stuff, but I haven't read a lot of it. I know you work at a shop, so I'm guessing you read all the new comics at work. I read a lot, from work, obviously, and I buy some as well. But, yeah. It's haunted from all those Vault comics you've been reading. You know it. Paul, Planetary. We did a whole episode of Comics Revisited about Planetary. I have said my piece on Planetary. Other than it's just fucking awesome. I will always refer people to that episode of Comics Revisited we did. So we did 2 seasons of Comics Revisited. Season 3 is coming in 2021. And we have 20 episodes per season. So that's 40 classic comic book stories that we have that we have talked about. So it's here on the YouTube channel, Stefan. If you go to our homepage, and if you just go down, you'll see there are playlists. We have playlists. And you can find one for Comics Revisited, and Planetary is on that playlist. Or you could just type in Pop Culture Philosophers Planetary on your YouTube search, and that should pull it up. But yeah, me and Jelani went on and on. Comics Revisited is a more intensive look at monumental things. So when I do Marvel in the 90s, I'm trying to purposely pick things I don't think we're going to do on Comics Revisited. But we already have season 3 planned out. 2020 put a wrench into things. We plan on starting production soon. As soon as the new set is built, we got the equipment for the new set. So as soon as we get that built, we're going to start filming. And it may be a while, but I am dead set on the idea that we have all 20 fucking done before we release. That way we have 20 weeks uninterrupted of Comics Revisited. That's the idea. But now we're about to get to the next top 5, and I love doing these top 5s with you guys here on Sunday night. So tonight's top 5 is a zombie theme, because this upcoming Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, we'll be talking about George A. Romero's zombie films, his Dead franchise, Night, Dawn, Day, Land, Diary, and Survival of the Dead. Very excited for that. So tonight, the top 5 is Top 5 non-Romero zombie movies. So these are my top 5 zombie films that are not done by George A. Romero. At number 5, Dead Alive, Peter Jackson. Fucking love this movie. We had a PCP Army movie poll for movies to F J Strick up. Dead Alive was second place. Reanimator was the winner, but Dead Alive is a great movie. It's got great zombie gore. It's one of the most disgusting, gruesome, gory movies you've ever seen, and it's hilarious. And I love it. And number 4, The Return of the Living Dead. This movie is so much freaking fun. It's got a great soundtrack. It's punk rock. It's in your face. It holds nothing back, and it's ridiculous, and I love it. The Tar Man is still one of the best zombies ever on screen. Return of the Living Dead, hell yeah. Amen, brother. At number 3, we have Reanimator, the winner of the Let's FJ Strick Up poll award. Reanimator's great. Is it a zombie film? Yes, because it's about dead coming back to life. I freaking love this film. It's great. We're going to be covering it, not this week, but next week in Horror Fest. Here's talk a lot more about it. At number 2, I got Zombie from Lucio Fulci. It's an Italian film. In Italy, it's actually called Zombie 2 because it's the sequel to Zombie, which was Dawn of the Dead. It's a whole thing. We'll talk a lot about it, but I love this. I mentioned it last night on Dylan's Comics with one of my most gruesome horror scenes of all time, and it's the eye gouge, and it's one of the craziest ones ever. I freaking love it. Zombie by Lucio Fulci. number 2. And at number 1 is 28 Days Later. Some people just stammer and claim this is not a zombie film. No, this is a zombie film, and outside of the Romero films, to me, it's the best. I love this film. It hits all the nuance, all the commentary. Everything that would make Romero proud is present and prevalent in this film, and it's my number 1. So I want to know right now, what is your favorite zombie film not done by George A. Romero? So thank you. That was my top 5 non-Romero zombie films. There you go. Have you seen the Hasbro 12-inch Mighty Morphin Power Ranger figures? No. God damn it. Don't tell me that. Breeze BS. Rogers is awesome tonight. What's going on in that game? Is it 27? 27 at the start of the 4th. Wow. I might have to go check out the end of that game. They look really good. I've collected any 12-inch DC Universe. Oh, wow, okay. 28 Days Later, Stefan says, hell yeah, that was my number 1. I fucking love that movie. The music, Danny Boyle is a great director. Trainspotting, Slumdog Millionaire, Millions, come on. He can do almost any genre, it seems, and he brings it like this stylistic like dynamicism to it. It's just absolutely fantastic. Stefan says, never heard of Dead Alive. I'll check it out. Yeah, it's either called Dead Alive or it's called Brain Dead. I think Brain Dead was the original name. It's directed by Peter Jackson, who did Lord of the Rings. And it's so ridiculously over the top. I also mentioned some scenes from that last night in my most gruesome and gory movie moments on Dylan's Comics. If you haven't checked it out, do. And please subscribe to Dylan's Comics. Dylan's Comics, that's our homie. PCP crew, we want to get him to 1,000. Yeah, and Alex Garland was the writer. Your taste is immaculate. Station. Thank you, brother. Billy, you're on a whole new level tonight, man, aren't you? Trainspotting's got one of the scariest movie moments, too. Isn't that babies crawling across the fucking top of the ceiling? I should have mentioned that last night. I did find the time to mention Superman 3 when they get turned into that fucking, like, what should have been Brainiac. Scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. I also mentioned Thriller. Yeah, that movie scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. But I also talked about what I thought were some really legitimately chilling scenes. Like the opening scene in Suspiria, a scene from The Thing, and the scene in Ju-on, The Grudge, the Japanese Grudge, the original Ju-on. When she comes down the staircase and the sounds and bruh. And I'm glad that Jelani mentioned Audition. If you like horror films, you need to be subbed up to Dylan's Comics because we've been having some fun stuff. Yeah, I've never seen World War Z. I need to watch it. At the time it debuted, I heard it was okay. So I never really checked it out too much. All right, we got show and tell coming up. So if you got any final thoughts, questions, or concerns, comments, get them in right now. Because we're about to get to show and tell. Then the final 9. Lots of great comics coming out this week. Lots of great comics last week. We're all hyped for Ten of Swords, Spawn. I'm really excited for Spawn now. I need to get caught back up on some Spawn. I spent today reading Supernaturals and DC books. Those are my thoughts on the DC books. But, you know, it is what it is. Tomorrow night, what I'll do... Tomorrow night, we got... So, yeah, real quick. We know about Horror Fest coming up this week, the Romero films. But tomorrow night, I will be live. Where is it? There it is. I'll be live talking about The Mummy's Hand. From the 40s, 1941 maybe 42. I actually love this film. It's the second Universal Mummy movie. It's not Imhotep. We talked about that one last week. I had a lot of fun revisiting this film and talking about it live. So it's meant to be like a movie commentary. And you can watch along with the movie. And as, you know, kind of, whatever. You know what a commentary is. It's that thing. PCP mystery boxes are going to be on sale tomorrow. You can get in touch with me on a social feed if you're interested in one. And it will be posted in the PCP Army on Facebook, and that will be the main hub to get your orders in. We were 50% complete now on the Punisher van. So once again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who did a super chat tonight, and thank you for everybody here. And we're back. So thank you so much. Show and tell time, everybody. How much do I owe Dylan? Nothing. Dylan owes me, buddy. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, first item up for show and tell. I mentioned that I got really something super cool from Liana today in the mail, Liana Kangas. So she's got this thing called Smashing Lemons coming up. The story behind Smashing Lemons. Got an email earlier that I was so excited about that I didn't know what to do with the lemon in my hand. So I literally threw it into the ground, smashed it on accident. Have you ever done that? That lemon had a wife and kids, Liana. So then right here, where is it? There it is. Certificate of True Bud Survival. This is presented to Rockin Robbie for being a lemon smasher, surviving half of 2020 with a Zac Efron from from High School Musical. I fucking love it. That made my fucking day. And she gave me we got a coaster. We got a coaster. So that's pretty dope. So Packers Saints tied in the fourth quarter with 12 minutes left. Hell yeah. All right, so we've been trying to show off more non-picture books here, non-comic books. So let's continue that. Cormac McCarthy is one of my favorite authors, and this is my favorite book by him. He also did The Road and No Country for Old Men. Great books, but Blood Meridian is the best. Blood Meridian, or The Evening Redness in the West. This is my favorite Western story I've ever read. This is visceral, it's guttural, it's just the wow. If you have never read this book and you like Westerns, you have to read this book. This book is brilliant. 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 And then we're going to open up the Stratos. This is the last one to open up in the Super 7 collection that I've been assembling. So Stratos is like one of my least favorite Motu figures, so this is why I got him last. But we're going to open him up real quick. See if we can get it to open cleanly. Doesn't seem like it. Let's get the knife out then. Who cares? Like, honestly, I don't care. It's fucking Stratos. I have never been a fan of Stratos. Kirby says, Blood Meridian is jaw-droppingly great. Yes. There was a customer of mine at the shop a while ago, long time ago. We're talking about 20 years ago, probably. At least 17 years ago. And the first time I read Blood Meridian, he's the one that loaned it to me. And he was like, not trying to scare you, but the last person I lent that to died while they were still borrowing it. And apparently from the bookmark, they made it to a certain page or whatever. And y'all, I really had a fucking crisis about getting to that page. There's a Teen Dog Shades. Oh, so there's the Stratos. I mean, it's not like he's a bad figure, but like I always thought he was just kind of doofy looking. Never really quite worked for me. But it's not a bad reproduction with the animated series colors. But he's got some really cool side stuff, man. So like, I'm pretty sure all I remember the original Stratos coming with is those wings. Like that's why I don't like Stratos. Let's be honest. The wings. The fuck are these? Those are wings? Those are fucking wings for Stratos? Are you serious? No, you can't possibly be serious. Let's get the wings on. But this one comes with some cool stuff, and I don't think that the other one did. I think it just came with these stupid-ass little wings. Like, if he would have had wings like Buzz Off or Buzzkill, whatever the hell his name is. Like, those are wings. And he's got a jetpack, but those are wings. What the hell? But this one comes with these two staffs. Instantaneously more badass. I didn't even realize he came with this. Instantaneously, Stratos is a more badass figure with that. And that. Like, where the hell did that come from? That's random, but that's fucking dope. That is dope. Next up, there's my Superboy #1. I show this off occasionally. Signed by Carl Kiesel and Tom Grummett, writer and the artist. Creators of Connor Kent. Always like showing that off. So there you go. And then we're going to take another look at my only on card, and let's put that in quotes, Superpowers figure, but there's my Parademon. We're actually going to pull him out tonight. So this Parademon is on card. The blister is still glued, but it is totally loose here. And like the gun even falls out just so easily. So let's just pull the Parademon out. And yet we can still put him back. And that's pretty cool. This is the only one I have on card. The only card I have. I don't even have any cards. I have some of the comics that come with them. From my Luthor and my Aquaman. But I've never had this one ever. So this is the first time I've ever played with this. Outside. So he's got a gun. So that's pretty freaking cool that they give him a gun. Because a lot of these didn't come with extras. And he does the little wing-a-dingy. Now, those are wings. Who's got better wings? Who's got better wings? You tell me, PCP Army. Who's got better wings? And he's got the flapping action. But he does have the better accessory. Stratos does. Thus, there ends show and tell. So there you go. I've been reading comics since I was 6, but I haven't had a shop since I was 6. I don't have a shop. I work at one. I'm the manager, but I don't own it. All possible possibilities have merged into one collective subconscious merging of reality. I think Billy is just fiending for a Teen Dog Shades night. I think I am too. I think that's why I've been wearing shades on these other people's videos. All right, final 9. So what this does is it brings us to almost the end of the Marvel Universe Series 1. So what will happen is that next week will be the end of it, or the next time we do a Rockin Robbie Live. I don't know if it's next week. I may take that week off, actually. But the next time we do this, we'll be covering the rest of them, including the holograms. So get excited, because next time we do a Rockin Robbie Live Final 9, you're going to see the holograms. And we're going to be ending this. It's taken a long time, but it's been really, really fun. So here we go. We got the New Mutants. We're still on the team pictures. X Factor. Notice the black border signifying they're part of the mutants. Excalibur. I always try to get an Excalibur. I think I still want to do it. I think I'm going to go and get the old school Claremont Alan Davis, as if I don't have enough to worry about. That's a Marvel in the 90s to do. There's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver's there for some reason. That's weird. Here's the Sinister Six. It's a different version. It's kind of more the version of the at the time. Kinda. And then there's the Hellfire Club. You see Magneto there. That's suspicious. And look at Sebastian Shaw. What the hell's going on? That's Mark Bagley. There we have Alpha Flight, because why not? It's a much different Alpha Flight, as you can see. Still doesn't want to... There it goes. So then we have these... The last bits of these cards are really weird. They're called Spider-Man Presents. They're basically jokes. So I don't know if this is going to focus, but this is the first one. It's Spider-Man Presents Spider-Man. I got my powers from a radioactive spider, and I never even got to thank the little guy. And then on the back, my spider sense warns me of danger, like when I'm late for dinner at Aunt May's. Okay. And then we got a Doctor Doom one. Yeah, this is going to be funny, isn't it? Say, Doc, did you ever do work as a real doctor? No way. Who would go see a doctor with the name of Doom? Okay. These are zingers. Doc, you're the king of Latveria. How do you control your people? Easy. I rule with an iron hand, and an iron foot, and an iron head, and ha ha ha. Don't worry, next time we do this is gonna be chock full of those. What a weird card collection. But it's like 200 something cards, but it's really fun. This has been great. Yeah, those cards are a weird stretch, Fable. Oh, lordy me. And I was going to open this tonight, but we're going to hold off just a little bit longer. But I do want to give a big shout out to Mike again for giving me this. This was a gift for me. And I fucking love it. And I can't wait to open it. And you know, I never opened up those Ghostbusters. So guess what? We got some Horror Fest themed show and tell unboxings coming in October. And I'm very damned excited about it. So great comic books coming out this week. Great comic books last week. Great movies. I'm excited. We had some great discussion tonight. We did a Marvel in the 90s. We did a top 5. We kept it horror themed. We kept it comic book themed. We kept it positive. We kept it light. We kept it pop culture philosopher. Thank you so much for joining the PCP Army. Don't forget, this upcoming Friday night, Horror Fest resumes with George A. Romero's Dead franchise. We'll be talking about all 6 movies: Night, Dawn, Day, Land, Diary, and Survival. But tomorrow night, be here 8 p.m. Central Time as I watch The Mummy's Hand live and commentate on it. It'll be a fun time just like we did last time. PCP mystery boxes go on sale tomorrow. Message us on our socials or just be a member of the PCP Army and pay attention to the pinned post tomorrow night or tomorrow morning. We really do appreciate everything, y'all. So much from our patrons, from the members of the PCP Army officially, to our family, to the crew, to you out there watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff. If you want to know more about Serial, maybe you want to hang around for a bit, but we are out. We thank you so much. Thanks for rocking with us. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. Keep on digging. So that Stratos unboxing was probably like the most unenthusiastic unboxing I'd ever done. It's because I really don't care about Stratos, but I was genuinely surprised by the badassery of his accessories. I will tell you that. Heat Lakers. It's going to be an interesting final. Heat are young, dynamic, fresh, hungry. Lakers, though, I think there's something right now. I think there's something magical going on with LeBron, with the situation, the bubble, the BLM movement. Emotions are high. Everybody's getting up there. Anthony Davis, the promise to Anthony Davis LeBron made, I'm going to win you a championship. This young group of guys around him that do amazing work. Like, seriously, Caruso, defensive, amazing. Dwight Howard, bruh. The people around, the Lakers are something special this year. I think they're going to win it. They're going to win it in 5 or 6. 5 or 6. 5. 5. They'll win 1. I think the Lakers take it all. I'd be happy with any outcome, but I'm most happy with the Lakers one, for real. Plus, I just ordered a Lakers hat. That'd be really lame if I get a hat in, like, and then they lose. But I think the Lakers are winning. 100%. So, yeah. That's what I think about that. Yeah. By the way, Herminio, that was for you. That was Fable's song, in case you missed it earlier. I see that you got to hear it that time, and that's really dope. Yeah. We out, but not for real. All right, I don't really have a new cereal to review, but like this week, it's all been about this one for me this weekend. Honey O's, still one of my favorite cereals. I can only find it at Walmart. I don't want the cereal to go away, so go buy as many boxes as you can. Post Honey O's is one of the best cereals in the market. Super crunchy, very flavorful, deliciously sweet with that oh so great honey taste. I absolutely love this. But since I don't have other cereals to really talk about, I do want to once again point out these two items, which are both absolutely fucking fantastic, each in their own way. Cinnamon Toast Crunch has the exact same distinct cinnamon seasoning from Cinnamon Toast Crunch in toaster strudel form. This is better than the cinnamon roll ones. And then the s'mores one, which is Golden Grams, this is better than any s'mores Pop-Tart or toaster strudel or whatever, anything like it I've ever had. I fucking love these things. I am much more of a toaster strudels person than I am a Pop-Tarts person. But yo, I'm not usually like, I love s'mores, like for real. But like things that are like, oh, this is the s'mores version of this. Most of the time. But man, I'll tell you what, them toaster strudels, they really good. We out, but not for real. Hey, what's up, Perry? How you doing, homie? We should do a video together. Taki's funny. Herminio, remember when it was just you post credits? Fable says Herminio started the wave. Yeah, we good, man. People understand what's going on now. At least I'm not spamming you with stew right now, right? Right? Like, if I was spamming you with stew, that'd be annoying. We're going to open this. We're going to fucking open this pinhead. Perry, you, Cabin in the Woods, that coffee, Cub Bong, how cool is it? Bruh, for real, right? Like, we talked about on our stream, we talked about how we wanted that. Like, we wanted that so bad. Perry, we need to do a movie review together. Do you want to do, have you done Roadhouse yet? Do you want to do Roadhouse with us and Bueller on a live show in November? You let me know. It'll be like whatever week is after November 13th. How do you open these things? You open them up here. So we're going to cut that open. We're going to open this damn pinhead. I've been holding it off too long. Perry says, hell yeah. Let's do you want to do the Roadhouse live review with me and Bueller and some of the PCP crew? Dylan? Hell yeah, let's do it. Like, you can do your own reaction video if you want. But then just do the stream with us to chat about it. That'd be super fun. Y'all, we're about to open this up. This is my first one of these boxed NECAs. Because when I got my Freddy, was my Freddy boxed? I think they were still in the blister. I don't know. Whatever. I'm really excited for this. Yeah, dude. Mike, the voice Matthews, got me this. Oh. It was an A-OK from him, though he oh. All I'm going to pull out tonight is the figure. That's what she said. But I do want to point out that there's two different versions of the lament configuration. Two different heads for Pinhead. One of them he's just doing his gnarl. All these weapons and they hang on the thread. Oh my goodness. I'm in fucking heaven. Oh, they're fucking twisty ties. Oh, and they're really bullshit twisty ties. Look at that. They're bullshit twisty ties. Oh. God. It's gonna take fucking forever. Hellraiser's Mondays movie? Dude. It's so fucking good. What do we have? Trust me, we'll be right back. Yo, I'm sorry. These are some bitch-ass fucking twisty ties. So I got them loose, though, finally. So let's pull this out. God, I hate these fucking things. I hate twisty ties so much, y'all. Okay. So this Pinhead has a little bit of cloth action on the skirt thing there. Like, by the way, this is Billy Corgan from Ex Machina. Like, seriously? A door. So there's the little thread you can hang the weapons on. Oh, I'll show this off more properly in its finished form, final form, on Friday night when we do the Romero films for show and tell. We'll probably have just enough time for not too much back chat, honestly. Just a little bit of... I'm not even going to try to bend the legs yet. This is a badass figure. And yeah, Perry, I think you're going to love this. Bruh, that sculpt on the face is great. Look at the detail there. And the finish on the skirt looks amazing. Bruh, look at that. This dude's fucking creepy as shit. I love this. I love Hellraiser. It's one of my favorite films. Perry, I think you're going to like it. I hope so. I am the way. That's from part 3. But anyway, yeah, it does, dude. It's super dope, man. No tears. It's a waste of good suffering. Anyway, Perry, I hope you like it. I'm excited to check out your 31 Days of Horror. It's an ambitious project idea, and I think it's great. NECA does have the worst twist ties, because they do this bitch-ass thing where they tie them all together, and then they loop them around and tie them again. And you're sitting here just like, what the fuck is going on, mate? God damn. Anyway, this really is the end of the stream tonight. We really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to go eat a baked potato. And don't forget, tomorrow night is Mummy Monday. See you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Time. Please join us. Hit that thumbs up button. Perry. Roadhouse. Me, you, Bueller. PCP. We're doing it.